Chapter 20. With the help of the system, his talents were unparalleled, and his background was invincible. What Jun Xiaoyao wanted was to dominate the era. All of the geniuses and protagonists would only be able to play second fiddle to him. It was even more so for Xiao Qin, who had a bit of luck. Xiao Qin clenched his fists and gritted his teeth. To be honest, he never expected to be defeated so thoroughly and in such a sorry state. A thick feeling of humiliation brewed in his heart. However, he was unable to say anything arrogant anymore. That was because facts spoke louder than words. Xiao Qin, that's enough. Given Lord Son of God's powers, he could easily kill you. He has already shown you mercy. Bai Yuer stood up and said. She had been so disappointed in Xiao Qin that she had even annulled the engagement. However, they were childhood sweethearts after all. While they were not very close, there was still some affection between them. However, that was all there was to it. Shut up, you be *tch. Do I need Jun Xiaoyao to show me mercy? Xiao Qin yelled furiously. Bai Yuer meant well, but that only aggravated Xiao Qin even more. His eyes, which were about to be filled with dejection, were now filled with anger and indignation. What a dumb girl! She's trying to make me hate her! Jun Xiaoyao thought to himself. However, that was exactly what he wanted. That was because Jun Xiaoyao had another plan in mind. You? Fine, I guess you took my kindness for granted. Bai Yuer's face turned gloomy as Xiao Qin kept calling her *tch. The last bit of affection she had for Xiao Qin was gone. Xiao Qin's chest rose and fell as he breathed heavily. He knew that there was no way he could defeat Jun Xiaoyao that day. Xiao Qin clenched his fists so hard that his nails dug deep into his palms, causing him excruciating pain. He glanced at Bai Yuer and Jun Xiaoyao coldly and said, Jun Xiaoyao, don't be so arrogant. Life is full of ups and downs. Don't think you can bully a young man just because he's poor. We will fight again in 3 years, Xiao Qin said with determination and solemnity, which went well with his handsome face, which was stained with blood. This made some of the girls from the Jun family view him in a new light. At this moment, Xiao Qin's indomitable will was indeed quite imposing. Xiao Qin turned around and dragged his injured body out of the arena step by step, leaving bloody footprints on the ground. Even Bai Yuer's heart was slightly shaken. She seemed to be able to see Xiao Qin soaring into the heavens in the future. However, at this moment, a cold voice sounded. Hold on, Xiao Qin stopped dead in his tracks when he heard that. Did I say you could leave? Jun Xiaoyao stood with his hands clasped behind his back, a playful look on his face. Did he think he could leave peacefully after saying a famous quote and leaving behind a coquettish back view? Xiao Qin was being a little too simple-minded. You. What do you want to do? Xiao Qin turned around, his face stiff. As the son of God of the Jun family, shouldn't Jun Xiaoyao magnanimously let him go and wait for him to slap his face 3 years later? Why didn't he follow the script? Jun Xiaoyao smirked coldly and said, You said such harsh words to the son of God in the Jun family, and then you want to leave peacefully. What do you take the Jun family for? And what do you take me, the son of God, for? Then what do you want to do? Are you afraid that I'll beat you 3 years later? Xiao Qin's eyes flashed with panic, but he forced himself to stay calm. Don't try to goad me, but I have no intention of killing you right now, Jun Xiaoyao said with a faint smile. Then what do you want to do? Xiao Qin was slightly relieved when he heard that, but his eyes were still full of vigilance. I can spare you the death penalty, but I can't escape punishment. I've taken a liking to your dragon chi. Jun Xiaoyao raised his hand as soon as he finished speaking. The golden spirit sea inside his body churned and surged, forming a huge hand and grabbing at Xiao Qin. You despicable bastard! Xiao Qin's expression changed drastically, and he turned around to run. However, he was still knocked down by the golden hand with a single slap. Jun Xiaoyao then grabbed at the air, and a dragon's roar was heard from Xiao Qin's body. Jun Xiaoyao then grabbed a semi-illusory shadow of a green dragon. That was the dragon qi inside Xiao Chen. No, my dragon qi! Xiao Chen's eyes were bloodshot as he screamed in a frenzy. Shut up! Jun Xiaoyao slapped him again. There was a loud rumble, accompanied by the sound of bones cracking. More than half of Xiao Chen's bones were broken, and he spat out blood as if it was free. You crippled all of my meridians? Xiao Chen's face was pale, and he gritted his teeth so hard that they were about to break. Jun Xiaoyao did not kill him, but he did cripple him. As such, he would not be able to defeat Jun Xiaoyao even if he had 300 or even 3,000 years, let alone 3 years. Jun Xiaoyao. Xiao Chen spat out the words one by one, and his eyes were filled with hatred and anger. The surrounding disciples of the Jun family also shuddered slightly, and they felt a chill in their hearts. It was the first time they had seen Jun Xiaoyao's ruthless methods. Zhantian, Xiaoyao is really swift in his actions, an elder who was hiding in the void said with a smile. That's good. The more ruthless my grandson is, the more relieved I will be, Jun Zhantian said with a smile. Not only did they not think that Jun Xiaoyao's actions were inappropriate, but they also thought that it was normal. When the Emperor's road opened in the future, there would be crueler things, and this level of things was nothing. In the combat arena, after Jun Xiaoyao obtained the Dragon Qi, he did not hesitate and started to absorb it right in front of Xiao Chen. There was a continuous sound of explosions coming from inside his body. It was the sound of the granules of the giant elephant awakening. After absorbing more than half of the Dragon Qi, another 10,000 granules of the giant elephant were awakened in Jun Xiaoyao's body. At that moment, he had awakened 30,000 granules of the giant elephant, which was equivalent to 300 million caddies of strength, which was extremely terrifying. Not only that, but Jun Xiaoyao also found that the Dragon Qi was nourishing his body, making his sacred body of the ancients, which was already extremely powerful, even more powerful. Furthermore, there seemed to be a layer of azure light spreading under his skin, which could be turned into an inner armor made of dragon scales to protect him when needed. Not bad. Jun Xiaoyao nodded slightly. He then put the remaining half of the Dragon Qi, which had not been digested, into Bai Yu-er's body. Lord Son of God Yu. Bai Yu-er was shocked, not expecting Jun Xiaoyao to do something like that. You have the divine fire of the vermilion bird in your body, which should complement the azure Dragon Qi, Jun Xiaoyao said plainly. He did that to win over people's hearts. He still needed Bai Yu-er to manage the ancient kingdom of vermilion bird for him in the future, so her talents could not be too weak. Thank you, Lord Son of God. Bai Yu-er was so touched that there were even tears in her eyes. That favor was like giving her a new life. Xiao Chen, who had witnessed that scene, could not help but spit out a mouthful of blood. He was furious. He was so furious that he felt like his organs were on fire and his organs were about to be crushed. Jun Xiaoyao refined his Dragon Qi right in front of him and even gave it to his ex-fiancée. His ex-fiancée, Bai Yu-er, even went as far as to lick Jun Xiaoyao's boots like a bitch. That made Xiao Chen feel like he was about to pass out from anger. Jun Xiaoyao saw that and said earnestly, "Don't be angry, Xiao Chen. I took your Dragon Qi and crippled your cultivation for your own good." Every main character had to go through all kinds of hardships and hardship. If their cultivation was not crippled, they would be embarrassed to call themselves main characters. From that perspective, Jun Xiaoyao was indeed helping Xiao Chen with good intentions. Chapter 21. He looked at Xiao Chen, who had fainted out of anger. All the disciples of the Jun family in the combat arena shuddered. Jun Xiaoyao was not only strong, but he was also good at talking. He had made Xiao Chen so angry that he almost passed away on the spot. Jun Xiaoyao sighed slightly, feeling a little speechless. What he said was indeed the truth. Generally speaking, people like Xiao Chen, who were blessed with luck, would usually explode after their cultivation was destroyed and their talents were taken away. They would have all kinds of adventures, and then they would grow and become invincible. Thinking about it this way, Jun Xiaoyao did have Xiao Chen's best interests at heart. Throw him out of the gate. Jun Xiaoyao waved his hand and said. Soon, the guards of the Jun family came and dragged the unconscious Xiao Chen away. At that moment, Jun Zhantian's figure suddenly appeared out of thin air. Grandpa. Jun Xiaoyao nodded slightly. He had long felt that Jun Zhantian and the other elders of the family were watching him from behind. Xiaoyao, do you know that even a wildfire can't burn it out, it will grow again when the spring breeze blows? Jun Zhantian looked serious. He was afraid that Jun Xiaoyao would develop the habit of being arrogant and underestimating the enemy. It was not a wise decision to let the enemy go like this. Oh, don't worry, Grandpa. I have my own plans. Jun Xiaoyao smiled and said. Did Jun Xiaoyao not know the principle of cutting the weeds and eliminating the roots? But then again, Xiao Chen was like a leek to him now. He would harvest him when he needed him. Jun Xiaoyao had only harvested the dragon qi, which was far from draining the value of Xiao Chen's luck. Wouldn't it be better to harvest them one by one? When there was no more value to harvest in the end, Jun Xiaoyao would naturally swat the fly. It's good that you have a plan in mind. This kind of small fry can't do anything. You still have a year to prepare, Jun Zhantian said. Jun Xiaoyao nodded slightly. Jun Zhantian was referring to his 10-years-old banquet. When the time came, the Jun family would invite forces from all over the Huangtian mystic realm. It would definitely be a feast that would attract the attention of the world. Even Jun Xiaoyao's mother's family, the Jiang family of the remote antiquity, would send people over. His mother, Jiang Ro, had always wanted to push the Jiang family's precious daughter to Jun Xiaoyao. In addition, the Jun family would also announce his identity as Sequence 0 at his 10-years-old banquet. At that time, the Jun family would surely be shaken violently, and all the sequences would certainly react. Therefore, Jun Zhantian wanted Jun Xiaoyao to be prepared. Grandpa, don't worry. I will never let you, Mother, the 18th ancestor, and the others down, Jun Xiaoyao said with certainty. He did not forget that he still had the chance to sign in at the Shui banquet. At that time, the reward he received might be of great help to his strength. Of course, Grandpa believes in you. Jun Zhantian smiled with satisfaction. After the incident, Jun Xiaoyao returned to the Heavenly Emperor Palace, ready to completely refine the dragon aura. Bai Yu stayed at the Heavenly Emperor Palace for the time being. She also received a small part of the dragon aura, and she had the divine fire of the phoenix. Bai Yu's talent and strength would skyrocket. Most importantly, she was now loyal to Jun Xiaoyao. She was branded with Jun Xiaoyao from the inside out. Even if Jun Xiaoyao asked her to die, Bai Yu would not hesitate. Compared to Jun Xiaoyao, who had gained a lot, Xiao Chen looked rather miserable at the moment. He slowly opened his eyes and found himself outside the gate of the Jun family's residence. Cough, cough, Xiao Chen struggled to get up. His body was covered in wounds, and there were also many internal injuries. His meridians were all destroyed, and his bones were broken. One could say that he was in an extremely miserable state. There were also many cultivators outside the gate of the Jun family's residence, watching the show. After all, Xiao Chen had entered the Jun family's residence in a very arrogant manner. It did not take long for him to be thrown out of the residence in such a sorry state. Is that prince of the ancient kingdom of dragon crippled? I think so. He's like a dog. It's his fault for messing with the son of God of the Jun family. His fiancée probably ran away as well. Serves him right. The cultivators who were watching the show all mocked and ridiculed Xiao Chen with looks of disdain. Xiao Chen clenched his fists and walked out step by step. When he was out of the sight of the crowd, Xiao Chen roared at the sky and punched the ancient tree in front of him. Damn you, Jun Xiaoyao! If I get the chance, I'll return the pain I suffered today to you 1,000 times over. While Xiao Chen was screaming, The blood on his body had unknowingly soaked the Panlong ring on his finger. Are all descendants of the ancient kingdom of dragon as unambitious as you? Suddenly, an old voice was heard. Who is it? Shao Chun looked around. However, in the next moment, his eyes fell on the Panlong ring on his finger. The ring suddenly flashed with a blue light. Then, an old man with white eyebrows wearing a blue dragon robe suddenly appeared in front of Shao Chun. You are. Shao Chun's eyes widened as he stared at the old man in front of him. There were 2 dragon horns on the old man's head. Shao Chun felt like he had seen this old man somewhere before. Haha, have the descendants forgotten about me? The old man in the blue robe with dragon horns said with a smile. You are the founding Grand Master of the ancient kingdom of dragon, Master Blue Dragon. Shao Chun gasped as a thought suddenly flashed through his mind. He finally remembered. The old man looked exactly the same as the statue of the founding ancestor in the royal palace of the ancient kingdom of dragon. As for the founding ancestor, Master Azure Dragon, according to the historical records, he was a quasi-supreme. He was half a step away from becoming a supreme being. That was a very powerful level. He was only 1 step away from becoming a supreme being. I am Shao Chun, the eldest prince of the ancient kingdom of dragon. Greetings, great ancestor. Shao Chun was trembling with excitement. He didn't expect the soul of the founding ancestor to reside in the Panlong ring among his mother's belongings. Sure enough, there was always a way out. Master Blue Dragon looked at Shao Chun and said, I woke up a few years ago and realized that you were the son of the ancient kingdom of dragon. I gave you all kinds of magic power and resources. I didn't expect that you would still lose to the son of God of the Jun family. Shao Chun looked cold and resentful after hearing that. He said, Great ancestor, why didn't you just kill Jun Xiaoyao back then? Humph, how foolish. If I had done it back then, neither you nor I would have been able to walk out of the Jun family alive, Master Blue Dragon scolded coldly. He had always been satisfied with Shao Chun's performance, but now Shao Chun was confused. Great ancestor, you are a quasi-supreme being. Can't you intimidate the Jun family? Shao Chun asked, unwilling to give up. Master Blue Dragon shook his head and said, Not to mention that I am only 1/10 as powerful as I used to be, I couldn't do anything to the Jun family even at my peak. The clan of the ancients is not as simple as you think. Shao Chun gritted his teeth and said, Then I won't be able to take revenge for the rest of my life. He had been crippled, and Master Blue Dragon couldn't help him. Don't be discouraged. You are the son of the ancient kingdom of dragon. The ancient kingdom of dragon still needs you in the future. I won't let you die so sadly, Master Blue Dragon said. Please help me, great ancestor. I am willing to pay any price. Shao Chun said firmly. A gratified look appeared in Master Azure Dragon's eyes as he took out an azure scroll. Although your cultivation has been crippled, it is a blessing in disguise. This is the art of dragon transformation in Blue Heaven. I used to practice it and I will teach it to you. The art of dragon transformation in Blue Heaven. Shao Chun's eyes, which had been filled with despair, rekindled the fire of hope after hearing that. It was as if he had been revived, and he was full of fighting spirit. Jun Xiaoyao, your biggest mistake was being too arrogant and complacent. You let me live. Chapter 22. Seeing that Shao Chun had regained his fighting spirit and confidence, Master Blue Dragon nodded in satisfaction. Such an indomitable character was the true son of the nation. By the way, you need to practice the spell of dragon transformation in Blue Heaven. At the same time, I also speculated that the secret treasure of Yuan-Tian will appear in the next few years, Master Blue Dragon said. Yuan-Tian Supreme? Is he a supreme master? Shao Chun's eyes widened. That's right. Yuan-Tian Supreme is extremely powerful and domineering. It is said that he once took several sets of ancient dragon bones from the Archean royalty, Master Blue Dragon said. Master Blue Dragon's eyes lit up when he talked about the ancient dragon bones. Archean royalty. Xiao Chen took a deep breath. That Yuan-Tian Supreme is indeed a domineering person. He even dares to offend the Archean royalty. However, Xiao Chen immediately thought of the key. He said, "Grand Ancestor, are you going to?" Master Blue Dragon nodded and said, "That's right. You need to find a supreme token of Yuan-Tian, then find a chance to enter the secret treasure and take the ancient dragon bones. If you can get the ancient dragon bones, your spell of dragon transformation in Blue Heaven will definitely reach the peak. I can also use an ancient dragon bone to reconstruct my physical body." Xiao Chen clenched his fists. His eyes were full of fighting spirit. "Don't worry, Grand Ancestor. I will go to the secret treasure of Yuan-Tian and take the ancient dragon bones. And Jun Xiaoyao and Bai Yuer, that be *tca. Just you wait." Xiao Chen looked up to the sky and laughed. He finally saw the light of revenge. At the same time, in the heavenly emperor palace of the Jun family. Achoo! Jun Xiaoyao touched his nose. "Someone is cursing me. Is it Xiao Chen?" Jun Xiaoyao muttered to himself. According to the usual routine, he should have already obtained some treasures by now. He should be thinking about how to get back at Xiao Chen in the future. "Xiao Chen, you gave me the dragon chi and a fiancé this time. I wonder what you will give me next time." Jun Xiaoyao smiled. He actually hoped that there would be more geniuses like Xiao Chen there, the more the better. There were no farmers who died of exhaustion. Let's put the matter of Xiao Chen aside for now. I don't think he'll amount to anything in a few years. I'd better prepare for the 10-years-old banquet first. I need to do a closed-door training to make a breakthrough, Jun Xiaoyao murmured. After all, this was his first time appearing on the stage before the eyes of the various powers in the immortal realms. If he didn't perform well, it would be too degrading. When the news of Jun Xiaoyao going into seclusion spread, the entire Jun family was in an uproar. Heavens, Lord Son of God is actually going into seclusion? As I recall, Lord Son of God has never gone into seclusion ever since he started cultivating, right? His cultivation speed is already so fast when he's not in closed-door cultivation. How fast would he be after closed-door cultivation? Will Lord Son of God break through to the true spirit realm? Sounds of discussion could be heard coming from all directions of the Jun residence. They were also very curious about Jun Xiaoyao, who never went into seclusion. If he came out of seclusion after a year, how powerful would his strength be? Amidst the curiosity and anticipation, a year slowly passed. During this year, the news of the Jun family holding a 10-years-old banquet for Jun Xiaoyao also began to spread in the Huangtian mystic realm. Many forces paid close attention to this. After all, the strange phenomenon of the reverence of 10,000 saints 10 years ago was too terrifying. Many big shots and old antiques were guessing what kind of nature-defying physique the mysterious Son of God of the Jun family had. The Son of God's father is the white-robed divine king, a taboo existence. I guess the Son of God's physique isn't too bad. That's right. The white-robed divine king Jun Wuhui is known to be the most likely person to become a great emperor in the late ancient era. He was even one of the people who touched the immortal path. Unfortunately, 10 years ago, many big shots of ancient forces were communicating in the void through their divine thought. In fact, they were also curious about how the Son of God of the Jun family, who was born with the glory of his father, would perform in his first appearance in the world. Hong State was one of the 3,000 mystical states of the Huangtian mystic realm. It was located in the territory of the Archean royalty, Zulong. Most of the 3,000 mystical continents were occupied by various factions. For example, the ancient kingdom of Phoenix occupied the entire Fire State. Hong State was only one of the more than 50 mystical states under Zulong's control. That's right, the far ancient royal family of the lair of Zulong alone owned more than 50 prefectures. The ancient kingdom of Phoenix only occupied one mystical state. One could imagine the difference between a first-rate force and the Archean royalty. However, the June family was even more terrifying. They occupied more than 100 mystical states, which was twice the size of Zulong's. The Emperor's state was only the base of the June family. At this moment, in a big city in Hong State, many humanoid creatures of different shapes and sizes were coming and going. Some had black horns on their heads, some had wings on their backs, some had scales on their foreheads, and some had beast-like eyes. These creatures were all from the 10,000 ancient races of the mystic realm. The creatures of the Archean royalty were among them. In the territories of some human clans of the ancients and immortal dynasties, humans were the majority. In the territories of the Archean royalty, some races of the mystic realm, or strange creatures, there were more creatures of all races. Of course, the creatures of all races, including humans, lived in peace. On the streets of the city, many creatures were looking at a woman in a blue dress with a hood on her head. Although most of her face was covered, one could still tell that she was a human. Furthermore, she had a slim figure. It was not that there were no humans in the territories of the Archean royalty, but they were very rare. The woman in the blue dress raised her head slightly, revealing a charming face. She was none other than Lan Qingyao, who was expelled from the June family. At this moment, her eyes were looking at a splendid tavern at the end of the road. It should be there. That lord will be gathering there. I want to leak the news that Jun Xiaoyao has the sacred body of the human race. Jun Xiaoyao, Jun Linglong, Lan Qingyao, may not be able to take revenge on you, but someone else can. Lan Qingyao's face flashed with deep hatred. After she was expelled from the Jun family, her situation was extremely miserable. She was used to living like a prince, and now she was living in the open, suffering desolation. Lan Qingyao would not reflect on her own actions. She would only blame everything on Jun Xiaoyao and Jun Linglong. On the top floor of the splendid tavern, a group of creatures was gathering. Some had wings on their backs, some had scales on their bodies, and some were as strong as bears or tigers. At this moment, this group of creatures was surrounding one person like stars surrounding the moon. It was a young man dressed in a luxurious golden robe. His facial features were arrogant and unruly, and there were 2 dragon horns on his head. His eyes were like 2 big stars, shining with a cold light. Under his skin, golden dragon scales could be faintly seen. His aura was very breathtaking. This young man was one of the geniuses of Zulong, one of the dragon sons, Long Haotian. Chapter 23. Zulong was an Archean royalty with a deep heritage. Their ancestor was the Archean ancestor dragon, who claimed the throne of the Archean emperor. His fame even overshadowed some of the great emperors of the human race. Long Haotian was one of Zulong's most brilliant geniuses, known as the Forbidden First Generation. As for Long Haotian, although he was not as talented as his brother Long Haotian, he was still very strong. Otherwise, how could he have become the Dragon Son? The Dragon Son of Zulong was almost equivalent to the sequence of the Jun family. Congratulations, Lord Dragon Son. You have integrated a dragon essence, and your strength has increased greatly. Yeah, that's a dragon essence. If it were an ordinary person, their body would have exploded, but Lord Dragon Son was able to suppress and refine it. It's amazing. Many of the creatures around were flattering him. Not at all. It's merely a single dragon essence. Although it's already pretty good, my big brother has already assimilated 3 dragon essences. Long Haotian smiled complacently. What? 3 dragon essences? All the creatures present were shocked. The so-called dragon essence referred to the essence of flesh and blood left behind by some of the most powerful beings of the dragon clan after they died. Not only did it contain the essence of the dragon clan, but it also contained various talents and runes. Although this kind of dragon essence was priceless, it was not that easy to refine it. Even some of the geniuses of Zulong found it difficult to integrate a dragon essence, and they might even explode. Long Haotian was able to integrate a dragon essence, which was enough for him to show off. However, Long Haotian had already integrated 3 dragon essences. Seeing the shocked expressions of the creatures around him, Long Haotian smiled proudly and said, "That's not all. I heard from my brother that his final goal is to integrate 7 dragon essences into his body. When that time comes, with the blood of the Emperor Dragon, my brother will be the ruler of this world." Long Haotian was not jealous of Long Haotian. Instead, he admired him. "Then, congratulations in advance. However, I heard that the 10-years-old banquet of the Jun family's Son of God is coming soon," a tall and burly young man with horns on his head said. He was a young cultivator of the Demon Ox Mountain, a force of the far ancient royal family. Although the strength of the far ancient royal family was not as strong as the Archean royalty, it was enough to intimidate a region. Many creatures present fell silent when they heard the words, "Jun family's Son of God." Even though Jun Xiaoyao had never truly shown himself to the world until now. However, the reverence of the 10,000 saints had still shocked the heavenly mystic of Huangtian. Although Jun Xiaoyao didn't make any big news after that, no one dared to underestimate the low-key and mysterious divine child of the Jun family. After all, he was the gods of the White God. Humph, the divine child of the Jun family hasn't been born yet. Who knows what he's capable of? Although the reverence of 10,000 saints is extraordinary, a vision of the ancestral dragon appeared on the day my brother was born. In fact, in the future, even without my elder brother doing anything, I will be able to suppress him. Long Haotian's expression was one of disdain. The feud between Zulong and the Jun family had been going on for a long time. The most recent incident was when the white-robed divine king, Jun Wuhui, skinned and pulled out the dragon tendons of a quasi-supreme expert from the lair of Zulong when he was still a saint. That was a great humiliation for Zulong. It would be nailed to the pillar of shame in the history of Zulong. To think that a quasi-supreme would be completely defeated by a saint. This was simply too humiliating. From then on, the lair of Zulong and the Jun family became sworn enemies. Haha, that's true. I believe that the Son of God is no match for the Dragon's son, a woman of the feather race with snow-white wings on her back said with a smile. Sigh, I wonder what kind of constitution the Son of God has. A being from the far ancient royal family shook his head slightly. At that moment, a woman's voice was suddenly heard. I know what kind of constitution the Son of God of the Jun family has. Who is it? The beings all looked over. At the entrance of the pavilion, a woman in a blue dress walked up the stairs. Why is a human here? The young man from the Demon Bull Mountain frowned. Although the far ancient royal family would not kill humans on sight, they did not have a good impression of them. Calm down. Long Haotian raised his hand and made a gesture. The beings around him quieted down. Long Haotian glanced at Lan Qingya and asked with some interest, You said you know what kind of constitution the Son of God of the Jun family has? Yes, I know because I was once a follower of a sequence of the Jun family, Lan Qingya said with certainty. What? These words caused all the living beings to be stunned. A follower of a sequence of the Jun family came to the far ancient royal family? Next, Lan Qingya briefly explained the feud with Jun Xiaoyao and the others. I see. Then tell me, what kind of constitution does the Son of God of the Jun family have? Long Haotian asked. The sacred body of the ancients, Lan Qingya said. As soon as she said that, the entire pavilion fell into dead silence. All the beings were stunned for a moment before they burst into laughter. Haha, what a joke! Are you telling the truth? The sacred body of the ancients. Haha, it used to be a sacred body of the human race, but now it's a useless body. Long Haotian was also a little surprised. He glared and said with a murderous aura, Do you know the consequences of lying to me? How could a useless body be valued by the Jun family? It's true. Jun Xiaoyao does have the sacred body of the ancients, But it's a sacred body of the ancients that has broken one shackle, Lan Qingya continued to reveal. What? Broken one shackle? How is that possible? He has the ability to do that? Lan Qingya's words froze the smiles on the faces of the far ancient royal family. Their faces turned slightly pale. A sacred body of the human race that has broken one shackle was not ordinary. It was terrifying. Long Haotian's expression did not change much. He pondered and said, with the Jun family's resources, it's not impossible to force resources to break the shackle. However, this method will not work. At most, 3 shackles will be broken. Jun Xiaoyao's path will be completely sealed. Long Haotian sneered. If the shackles of the sacred body of the ancients could be broken so easily, it would not have been called a useless body. Probably, Lan Qingya nodded and said. She only thought that Jun Xiaoyao had broken one shackle. However, she could not imagine that Jun Xiaoyao had broken 10 shackles when he was born. Haha, this is interesting. It seems that I might have to attend the 10-years-old banquet of the Son of God of the Jun family. Long Haotian laughed heartily. When the time came, he would trample the Son of God of the Jun family under his feet at the 10-years-old banquet. That kind of scene. TSK, just thinking about it made him excited. Haha, with Lord Long's involvement, the Son of God of the Jun family's 10-years-old banquet will become a banquet of shame. It's time for the Jun family to lose some face. The entire pavilion was filled with a relaxed and joyful atmosphere. Jun Xiaoyao, you forced Qingya to do this. Don't blame me when the time comes. Lan Qingya narrowed her beautiful eyes and flashed with a cold light. When the time came, she would follow Long Haotian and witness the moment when Jun Xiaoyao and the others were humiliated. Not long after Lan Qingya tipped them off. From the Jun family of the Emperor State, invitations were tied to golden flying swords. They turned into dense streams of light and flooded all over the Huangtian mystic realm. That's the Jun family's sword message. It's an invitation. Is the mysterious Son of God of the Jun family finally going to show himself to the world? Chapter 24. The Jun family was one of the top forces in the Huangtian mystic realm. Their every move would bring changes to the entire Huangtian mystic realm. Not to mention that the main character of this banquet was the mysterious Son of God of the Jun family. As the son of Jun Wuhui, the white-robed king of gods, Jun Xiaoyao had attracted a lot of attention. This 10-years-old banquet was the first time Jun Xiaoyao appeared in the world. It was impossible not to cause a sensation. Qingzhou, one of the 3,000 mystical state. Qingzhou was the land of the Jiang family, a family of the clan of the ancients. The Jiang family was the family of Jun Xiaoyao's mother, Jiang Rou. Jiang Rou was once the goddess of the Jiang family and had a high status. At this moment, in the land of the Jiang family, there was a paradise shrouded in mist and auspicious colors. A young woman in a snow-white dress was waiting for something. Her entire body was flawless and flawless. She had a celestial appearance, and her pure white body was tall and slender. Her hair was like a waterfall, falling straight to her hips. She had a picturesque face, with curved eyebrows, eyes like autumn water, bright red lips, and sparkling white teeth. At first glance, she was like a fairy descending to the mortal world. She was beautiful and pleasing to the eye. My nephew is going to hold his 10-years-old banquet. I've never seen you before, the woman murmured and suddenly smiled. This woman was a distant cousin of Jiang Rou. Although they were not closely related, she was still Jun Xiaoyao's aunt in name. Her name was Jiang Shengyi. In Jiang Rou's family, Jiang Shengyi was the youngest, only 24 years old. She was in the prime of her life and was a feast for the eyes. At this moment, a crisp voice like a silver bell came from afar. Sister Shengyi, why are you looking for me? As the voice came out, a young girl about 12 years old stepped lightly on the void and teleported over. She was petite and agile. Her hair was tied into 2 ponytails, which danced with her movements. Her eyelashes were long, her big eyes were bright, her nose was straight, and her lips were cherry. When she smiled, she would reveal 2 small canine teeth. There were also 2 dimples on her pretty face, which made her look quite charming. This young girl seemed to be the spirit of heaven and earth. She was a fairy of heaven and earth, cunning and intelligent. Luo Li, you have the elemental spirit Tao body, which is the body that is closest to the origin of the great Tao of heaven and earth. Jiang Shengyi rolled her eyes at Jiang Luoli. She stretched out a slender finger and tapped Jiang Luoli's forehead. Hey, Sister Shengyi, you are the divine lady of the Jiang family. You have the natural Taoist embryo. With you around, why would Luo Li need to cultivate? Jiang Luoli covered her forehead with her hand, blinked, and said with a playful smile. Jiang Luoli was the precious daughter of the Jiang family that Jiang Rou and Jun Zhantian had mentioned. Jiang Shengyi said, You mischievous girl. Alright, I've called you here to talk business. You'll come with me to the Jun family to attend the 10-years-old banquet. Hearing this, Jiang Luoli asked, Is it the banquet for the son of God of the Jun family? Jiang Shengyi smiled and said, That's right. You can finally meet your future husband. What husband? Sister Shengyi, don't talk nonsense. Jiang Luoli stomped her feet, her face a little red. She hadn't met the son of God of the Jun family yet. How could she be so careless? My nephew must be an outstanding person. Don't regret it when the time comes if you're so eager to oppose it. Jiang Shengyi teased. I'm against arranged marriages. Even if I, Jiang Luoli, were to die, even if I were to jump off a mountain, I would never get engaged so casually. Jiang Luoli swore angrily. Jiang Shengyi covered her mouth and smiled. Alright, I think I've heard from cousin Jiang Rou that my nephew is handsome and refined, just like an immortal. Really? Jiang Luoli rolled her eyes, her beautiful eyes sparkling. I'm just kidding. I don't know. Jiang Shengyi burst into laughter. She knew that Jiang Luoli was obsessed with looks and had high standards for appearance. Jiang Luoli wouldn't like people who weren't handsome at all. Perhaps this was also the reason why the Yuan spirit Taoist body pursued perfection. The man who can catch my eye must be the most handsome in the immortal realm. Jiang Luoli puffed out her chest and pouted. She was also guessing how handsome the mysterious son of God of the Jun family was. Don't worry. You'll find out soon. Jiang Shengyi patted Jiang Luoli's head and said. The Jiang family wasn't the only one invited by the Jun family. There were other ancient families, supreme clans, immortal dynasties, and so on. First-rate forces that were slightly inferior were also invited, but it wasn't as formal. Second-rate forces that were one level lower weren't even qualified to be invited. Of course, the Jun family wouldn't stop them from taking the initiative to participate, but they weren't qualified to enter the main hall and could only watch from the outside. As time passed, the entire 3,000 mystical states of the Huangtian mystic realm began to heat up. A year had finally passed, and the 10-years-old banquet of the Son of God of the Jun family finally began. On this day, the entire Huangtian mystic realm was in an uproar. Countless ancient warships, flying boats, mounts, and so on rose into the air and turned into tens of thousands of streams of light. There was only one direction in which they were heading, the Jun family of the Emperor's state. The Great Shang dynasty was an ancient dynasty of the human race. It had a deep foundation and a long history. One after another, luxurious ships rose into the air and sailed towards the Emperor's state. Hey, that's the ship of the Great Shang princess. She's going to attend the Son of God of the Jun family's 10-years-old banquet. Yeah, the 10-years-old banquet is also an opportunity. Who wouldn't want to climb up the Jun family's branch? That's true. Generally speaking, after turning 10, one could prepare to find a cultivation partner. Although the Son of God of the Jun family had never shown his face, his status alone was enough to make many princesses, emperors, and geniuses recommend themselves to him. If they were chosen by the Son of God of the Jun family, they would definitely soar into the sky, and the forces behind them would also rise to the top. Therefore, many beauties from various forces were ready to go to the banquet and try their luck. The Holy Land of Dian also rose into the air and prepared to go to the June family. The last time the June family held such a grand 10-years-old banquet was for the sequence number 1. But this time, the Son of God of the June family's 10-years-old banquet is even grander. The Yi family of the clan of the Ancients pulled a carriage into the air. I heard that Luoli will be there too. If that's the case, I naturally can't be absent. In the carriage, a handsome young man in a blue robe with sharp eyebrows and bright eyes chuckled. A glimmer of light flashed in his eyes. The Luoli he was talking about was the pearl of the Jiang family, Jiang Luoli. Young Master Xingyun, the master has ordered that we are going to the banquet, not to cause trouble. Young master, if you cause trouble at the June family's banquet, the master will not let you go, an old man with a goatee said with a serious face. He faintly exuded the aura of a sage-to-be. To have a sage-to-be as a servant, this young man's status was obviously not low. Haha, don't worry, Uncle Fu. I know what I'm doing. I'm going to find Luoli, not provoke the Son of God of the June family. The young man laughed. His name was Yi Xingyun, and he was a top genius of the Yi family of the Ancients. He had the kingly body of stars, which was ranked in the top 500 among the 3,000 physiques. It could contain the power of the stars in the 9 heavens. Yi Xingyun had once met Jiang Luoli during an adventure in a secret realm. He still couldn't forget the lively and beautiful girl who was like a fairy. It was just that he never had the chance to see her again. This banquet of the June family was a good opportunity to strike up a conversation. Chapter 25. Outside the June family's mountain gate in the Emperor State, countless birds and beasts covered the sky and covered the earth, pulling all kinds of gorgeous carriages. There were huge ships crossing the void. At this moment, the June family's mountain gate was wide open, welcoming guests from all over. As for the possibility of someone causing trouble, the array that was faintly flickering in the void exuded an aura that even saints would be wary of. It was enough to intimidate those with impure thoughts. No one or force dared to cause trouble at the June family's banquet. The Daoji heavenly sect is here. They present the Son of God with 9 Taoist scrolls. It's the Daoji heavenly sect. The old Taoist from the Daoji heavenly sect is quite famous. Some people from other forces discussed. The Holy Land of Dian is here. They present the Son of God with a bottle of divine condensation chalcedony and 100 supreme-grade divine sources. Oh my God, the Holy Land of Dian even took out the divine condensation chalcedony. That's a miraculous item that can nourish the true spirit in the divine palace. Many people were jealous when they heard that. Every one of those gifts was enough to make people scramble for them. Now, all of them were presented to the Son of God of the June family as congratulatory gift. People couldn't help but be jealous. The great Shang dynasty is here. They present the most precious treasure, a painting of mountains and rivers. Following the shout, a beautiful and alluring woman came over with a painting of mountains and rivers. She had a sweet smile on her face, and her beautiful eyes were filled with longing. It's the princess of the great Shang dynasty. What a beauty! Sigh, we can only look at such a beauty from afar, but she wants to chase after the Son of God of the June family. Comparisons are odious. Many male geniuses from other forces sighed in their hearts. They were not qualified to pursue the princess of the great Shang dynasty, but the princess only wanted to be liked by the Son of God. Next, many forces came in an endless stream to present congratulatory gift. There was the Snow Wind Empire in the far north, and the Tianya Temple in the far south. It could be said that as long as the forces received the sword message, none of them dared to not come. These forces were all first-rate forces and above, and they were qualified to enter the June family's mountain gate. Those second-rate forces that were not even first-rate could only send gifts and wait at the banquet outside the mountain gate. These forces weren't dissatisfied. After all, they didn't have the right to do so. The clan of the ancients, the Jiang clan, has arrived. They've delivered an ancient saint weapon, 3 immortal herbs, 100 top-notch sage pills, and 1,000 peerless celestial sources. The disciple of the Jun family continued to recite. This extravagance also shocked the many factions present. Isn't this gift a little too generous? Have you forgotten? The Jiang family and the Jun family have been connected by marriage for generations. That son of God of the Jun family's mother is a member of the Jiang family. How can there not be many congratulatory gifts from his mother's family? The Jiang family was considered the immortal power that had the best relationship with the Jun family. The two families had been connected by marriage for generations, and they were almost wearing the same pant. 2 beautiful silhouettes stepped directly into the Jun family's mountain gate. All the guests present looked over, and their faces could not help but be stunned. They were a little dazed. These 2 beauties, one big and one small. Her snow-white robe was flawless, and she looked like a celestial being. Her facial features were exquisite, and she looked like a fairy descending to the mortal world. The younger one was delicate and dainty. Her eyes were quick-witted and lively. Her temperament was like that of a beautiful fairy. These 2 women had different styles, but they were both so beautiful that even heaven and earth were overshadowed by them. The 2 of them are so beautiful. The big beauty must be Jiang Shengyi, the goddess of the Jiang family, who has a natural Taoist embryo. The small one must be the pearl of the Jiang family, Jiang Luoli, who has the Yuan spirit body. Looking at the 2 beauties, the men present couldn't take their eyes off them. Almost at the same time, another voice was heard. The clan of the ancients, the Yi family, has arrived. They've delivered 10 top-notch sage pills, 100 divine sources, and 3 noble weapons. Hearing this voice, many people whispered to themselves. The clan of the ancients, the Yi family, was also quite famous. However, their gifts were ordinary. Not to mention the Jiang family, even the gifts given by the clan of the ancients were shabby. However, the relationship between the Yi family and the Jun family was just so. It was natural for them to send such gift. Haha, Miss Luoli, please wait. 2 figures walked into the gate of the Jun family. One of them was an old servant with a goatee, and the other was a young man in a blue shirt. It was Yi Xingyun. It's the top genius of the Yi family, Yi Xingyun, who has the kingly body of stars. And you are. Jiang Luoli turned around and looked at Yi Xingyun in confusion. The smile on Yi Xingyun's face froze. He was a little embarrassed. Then, he said, Miss Luoli, you forgot that in the secret realm of Luoyue. Jiang Luoli finally remembered. She said calmly, Oh, you're that, who are you? I'm Yi Xingyun of the Yi family. Yi Xingyun felt even more embarrassed. Could it be that Jiang Luoli didn't remember him at all? Oh, it's you. Sorry, I usually don't remember people with average looks, Jiang Luoli said, curling her lips. As soon as she said that, the whole place fell silent. Yi Xingyun was even more embarrassed. To be honest, Yi Xingyun was not bad-looking. He had sharp eyebrows and bright eyes. He was very delicate and pretty. Most girls would feel comfortable looking at him. However, in Jiang Luoli's words, he was just average-looking. However, Yi Xingyun was thick-skinned. He forced a smile and said, Miss Luoli, long time no see. Would you like to sit with me later? Hearing this, some of the people present understood what was going on. It turned out that Yi Xingyun had an ulterior motive. He was not here to attend the banquet. He was here to flirt. At the side, Jiang Shengyi frowned slightly. Jiang Ro had always wanted to matchmake Jiang Luoli and Jun Xiaoyao. Was Yi Xingyun trying to steal her away? Luoli, let's go find cousin Jiang Luoli. Jiang Shengyi took Jiang Luoli's hand and said, Okay. Jiang Luoli nodded slightly and stopped paying attention to Yi Xingyun. Yi Xingyun took a deep breath. He still had a calm smile on his face. It's okay. I still have a chance. Yi Xingyun comforted himself. On the other side, the door to a magnificent hall in the June residence opened. Only the most distinguished guests and people from the top orthodoxies were allowed to enter. The rest of the top forces were seated on other divine islands. The Jiang family, the Yi family, and some other clan of the ancients, supreme clans, and top dynasties were also seated. All kinds of fine wine and delicacies were served on jade plates. The dishes were gorgeous and sumptuous. They were all rare treasures. Are the big shots of the June family not here yet? Where is the Son of God? An elder from a top orthodoxy looked around. Just then, a man and a woman with powerful auras appeared. One of them was a young man in a black robe. His aura was as sharp as a sword. He was Jun Zhangjian, sequence 10 of the Jun family. He had come out of seclusion to attend Jun Xiaoyao's 10-years-old banquet. The woman beside him was wearing a light blue tassel dress. She seemed to be surrounded by a cold aura. Her eyes were ice blue. Her hair was tied up with an ice blue phoenix hairpin. Her skin was as white as snow. She looked like a beauty carved out of ice. That's Jun Xuehuang, sequence 7 of the Jun family. She has the ice spirit body. It's said that she can freeze thousands of miles of land and make it snow with a single thought. Many people looked at Jun Xuehuang. The sequence 10 of the Jun family were all extraordinary. Among them, there was no lack of outstanding women. Jun Xuehuang was such an existence. I didn't expect you to come out of seclusion to attend Xiaoyao's 10-years-old banquet. Jun Zhangjian smiled faintly. The sequence 10 of the Jun family were either in seclusion or traveling the world to explore the secret realms. Only a few people came to attend Jun Xiaoyao's 10-years-old banquet. Jun Xuehuang pursed her lips and said faintly, I just want to see how powerful the Son of God, who defeated you at the age of 3, is. Hearing this, Jun Zhangjian's face immediately became unnatural. This was simply touching the pot that didn't boil. At that moment, another figure walked into the hall. It's him? Chapter 26. The only person who could make the two sequences of the Jun family look so serious was someone even more powerful. The person who walked into the hall was a young man in silver armor. He had a square face and a cold and arrogant temperament. The crisscrossing scars on his cheeks added to his cold temperament. The young man's eyes were like two thunder lakes. When he opened and closed them, lightning shot out, and the profound meaning of thunder and lightning manifested around him. It's him! I didn't expect him to be here too. Seeing the young man, many geniuses from the major forces looked serious. Even Yi Xingyun looked serious. He's here too. He's Jun Wanjie, the 5th sequence of the Jun family. Jun Wanjie was definitely a legendary genius. He was born in a collateral branch of the Jun family. His status was not high and he had suffered a lot. These collateral members of the Jun family were usually sent to various states to manage the Jun family's businesses after they reached adulthood. Jun Wanjie was one of them. That was until he accidentally obtained a supreme technique, the heavenly skill of surviving calamities. Because of that, Jun Wanjie awakened a top-level constitution that he had never known before. The Thunder Calamity Battle Constitution. The Thunder Calamity Battle Constitution was ranked in the top 300 among the 3,000 constitutions. It was one of the top-level constitutions and had extremely strong combat power. Because of that, Jun Wanjie became the 5th sequence of the Jun family. Although the 10 sequences of the Jun family were all outstanding talents, there was still a certain gap in strength between them. The fact that Jun Wanjie could be ranked in the top 5 of the 10 sequences was enough to prove his strength. However, his arrival made Jun Zhangjian and Jun Xuehuang frown. The reason was simple. Perhaps it was because Jun Wanjie was born in a collateral branch and had been treated coldly since he was a child. He was very arrogant and domineering. He did not have a good relationship with the other sequences. With his personality, it's really strange that he would attend Xiaoyao's 10-years-old banquet, Jun Zhangjian murmured. Obviously, he didn't like Jun Wanjie either. Perhaps he wants to witness the strength of the Son of God. After all, in the future, the Son of God is likely to become one of the top 10 sequences, Jun Xiaohuang guessed. Until now, they still did not know that Jun Xiaoyao had already been internally selected as Sequence 0. After Jun Wanjie arrived, he immediately chose a seat and sat down alone. No one else dared to approach him. With the arrival of the 3 sequences of the Jun family, the atmosphere in the hall became even more heated. At this moment, several powerful auras arrived. Many people from the various forces and orthodoxies were startled as they looked over. A group of elders of the Jun family had arrived. Every one of them had an imposing aura that made people feel intimidated at first glance. Jun Xiaoyao's mother, Jiang Ro, had also arrived. "Everyone, thank you for attending my grandson's 10-years-old banquet. This old man would like to express his gratitude." The golden-robed elder in the middle was none other than Jun Zhantian. "You're welcome. It's our honor to be able to catch a glimpse of the true face of the Son of God." Everyone present smiled and returned the salute. An elder from an orthodoxy hesitated and said, "May I know where Lord Son of God is now?" As soon as he said that, many people's ears perked up. The banquet had already begun, but the main character had yet to appear. This was somewhat inappropriate. Moreover, these people were mostly here to catch a glimpse of the true face of the Jun family's Son of God. "I'm sorry, everyone. My grandson has been in seclusion and has yet to come out. However, he should be out soon." Just as Jun Zhantian finished speaking, suddenly, a rumbling sound was heard from the Heavenly Emperor Palace deep within the Jun family's residence. Above the 9 heavens, thunder surged and rays of light shone brightly. "What kind of scene is that? It seems like someone is breaking through to the next level. Is it the Son of God? But isn't the aura of a breakthrough a little too terrifying?" Many powerhouses in the main hall were stunned when they sensed the fluctuation of the aura. They took a deep breath. The divine child of the Jun family was only 10 years old at the very most. Boom! In the distance, the Heavenly Emperor Palace shone with a bright golden light. Vaguely, the shadow of an immemorial divine elephant appeared, suppressing the 9 heavens and 10 earths. What kind of cultivation method is that? It makes me feel a little scared. Yi Xingyun's expression changed slightly when he sensed the pressure of the immemorial divine elephant. He was one of the more arrogant ones. With his kingly body of stars, he was extraordinarily talented and could easily dominate the world. However, the primordial divine elephant made even Yi Xingyun shudder in fear. This made Yi Xingyun frown. He did not like this feeling. While the guests were still in shock, a giant hand appeared in the distance and pressed down from the sky, isolating all the strange phenomena so that no one could see what was going on. That hand, could it be a supreme being? Seeing the giant hand that wiped away the strange phenomena, all the powerhouses in the hall secretly swallowed their saliva and trembled with fear. There was no doubt that the person who made the move was a supreme being. Could it be the 18th ancestor of the Jun family? Some people guessed, while the various powers were making all sorts of guesses due to the abnormal phenomenon. The gate of the Heavenly Emperor Palace was finally opened. In the midst of the dazzling light, a peerless figure in a white robe slowly appeared. At this moment, countless pairs of eyes fell on the figure who stepped out of the Heavenly Emperor Palace. It was a tall young man. His body was shrouded in a hazy divine halo. His white robe was whiter than snow, making him look like a banished immortal. His hair was sparkling and translucent, and his body seemed to be the best immortal jade. It contained divine light. His face was shrouded in a hazy divine halo, but it could still be vaguely seen. His facial features were naturally exquisite, so handsome that it gave people a kind of unreal feeling. At first glance, people would be puzzled. Was he human? Or was he an immortal who was accidentally banished to the mortal world? At this moment, the world was silent. Many women even seemed to have stopped breathing. Even some of the girls of the Jun family who had seen Jun Xiaoyao before felt suffocated at this moment. After a year of closed-door cultivation, Jun Xiaoyao's temperament had sublimated and become more profound. A stranger like Jade, the son of God, is unparalleled. A girl of the Jun family murmured these words as if she had lost her mind. At this moment, Jun Xiaoyao looked at the gazes all over the sky and was slightly surprised. Is it time for my 10-years-old banquet? Jun Xiaoyao did not expect that he would be in closed-door cultivation for a year in the blink of an eye. Now, his strength had sublimated again and reached the peak of the true spirit level 9. This far exceeded his goal of breaking through to the true spirit level, which was considered to be an overachievement. It could be said that in the entire Huangtian mystic realm, there were few who could reach the true spirit level 9 before the age of 10. Lord Son of God, the banquet has begun. Seeing that Jun Xiaoyao had come out of closed-door cultivation, Jun Linglong, who had been waiting outside the palace, came up and said, as for Bai Yuer, she had returned to the ancient kingdom of Phoenix. Well, let's go to the main hall first. Jun Xiaoyao nodded slightly and stepped into the air like a deity. It was not until Jun Xiaoyao's figure was far away that those who had been paying attention came back to their senses. I don't know how strong the son of God of the Jun family is, but when it comes to appearance and temperament, he is the best in the mystic realm. A maiden of a major force who came to the banquet mumbled to herself. At this moment, in the main hall, many people knew that the son of God of the Jun family had come out of closed-door cultivation. In just a moment, a calm and gentle voice was heard from the entrance of the hall. Thank you all for coming to attend my banquet. As soon as the voice was heard, an otherworldly figure dressed in snow-white clothes walked into the hall leisurely. Chapter 27. Everyone present was mesmerized by Jun Xiaoyao's appearance and temperament. All the women's beautiful eyes were infatuated. It was as if their souls were captivated by the handsome young man in front of them. Jun Xiaoyao was like an immortal descending to the mortal world. His temperament was too otherworldly. Is this the son of God of the Jun family? Seeing him in person is better than hearing about him 100 times. He's really a god. Everyone sighed in their hearts. In the midst of this silence, a delicate voice suddenly rang out. Wow, 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 are you the son of God of the Jun family, Jun Xiaoyao? A beautiful young girl cried out loudly. Her beautiful eyes were sparkling, and sparkling saliva was dripping from the corner of her tender red mouth. Yes, you are? Jun Xiaoyao raised his eyebrows and looked at the beautiful young girl. His first impression was short. That's right. Jiang Luoli had bright eyes and white teeth. She was delicate and charming, and when she smiled, 2 dimples would appear on her jade cheeks. However, her figure was quite petite. She looked to be about 1.5 meters tall. I'm Jiang Luoli. Jiang Luoli's beautiful face was slightly red. Lowly Jiang. Jun Xiaoyao tilted his head slightly. No. It's Jiang Luoli. No. It's Jiang Luoli. Jiang Luoli's face was red and her heart was beating fast. She was a little incoherent. Jun Xiaoyao suddenly understood. So she was a member of his mother's family. Thinking of this, Jun Xiaoyao smiled at Jiang Luoli and said, Thank you, Miss Jiang, for giving me the honor of coming to this banquet. Seeing Jun Xiaoyao's handsome face, shrouded in celestial light and faintly smiling, Jiang Luoli's whole body went numb. She had the illusion that her heart was shot by Cupid's arrow. For someone like her who was obsessed with looks, Jun Xiaoyao's appearance had simply stimulated her. He was truly a celestial being. Jiang Shengyi, on the other hand, was slightly shaken when she saw her nephew who was so handsome that he didn't look human. She originally wanted to tease Jiang Luoli, but now she was a little stunned. The moment Jiang Shengyi saw Jun Xiaoyao, an indescribable emotion welled up in his heart. Her innate Taoist fetus physique seemed to be touched. What's going on? Jiang Shengyi was shocked. She touched her slightly red face. Xiaoyao, come here quickly. This is Mother's distant cousin, your aunt Jiang Shengyi. There's also Luoli. She's the apple of my Jiang family's eye. It's just nice to get to know her." Jiang Ro smiled and greeted Jun Xiaoyao. Jun Xiaoyao was speechless. It turned out that the short little girl was the precious daughter of the Jiang family, whom Jiang Ro and Jun Zhantian had been talking about for a long time. And Jun Xiaoyao nodded slightly. "You're making me sound old. You should call me sister." Jiang Shengyi pretended to be relaxed, as if to hide the strange feeling in her heart. She revealed her pearly white teeth and smiled charmingly as she teased him. At the same time, she was also observing Jun Xiaoyao. She didn't know what kind of physique he had. Jiang Luoli, on the other hand, had been blushing ever since Jun Xiaoyao appeared. She, who was usually delicate and lively, felt a little reserved at this moment. When the other guests saw this scene, they all sighed. It seemed that the pearl of the Jiang family was about to be moved. That was how superficial people who only cared about appearances were. Yi Xingyun looked at the bashful Jiang Luoli from one of the seats. He was so angry that his body trembled slightly. His face was extremely pale. How could this be? Yi Xingyu's brows were furrowed. To be honest, he didn't want to provoke Jun Xiaoyao. However, when he saw the scene in front of him, Yi Xingyun felt very heartbroken. Jiang Luoli was the woman that he wanted. Apart from his appearance, Yi Xingyun was confident that his talent, strength, and family background were not inferior to Jun Xiaoyao. Moreover, he had some dealings with Jiang Luoli in the secret realm of Luoyue. However, Jun Xiaoyao had done nothing. Just his appearance alone was enough to make Jiang Luoli fall for him. Was there any justice in this world? So what if he was handsome? On the other side, Jun Zhanjian sighed and said, "It's only been a few years. Xiaoyao has already grown to this level." Jun Zhanjian was now a little relieved that he didn't offend Jun Xiaoyao back then. Instead, he took out the supreme token of Yuan Tian and befriended him. That could be said to be the wisest decision that Jun Zhanjian had ever made. Beside him, Jun Shuhuang stared at Jun Xiaoyao. Her ice-blue eyes were also slightly dazed for a moment. However, she wasn't like Jiang Luoli, who was a complete dog for looks. This son of God really lives up to his reputation. His aura is unfathomable. Jun Shuhuang shook her head slightly. Jun Xiaoyao's entire body was shrouded in a mist of divine light. No one could see through him. They also noticed Jun Wanjie from the corner of their eyes. From the moment Jun Xiaoyao appeared, Jun Wanjie's gaze had been fixed on him. There was a faint trace of judgment and indifference in his eyes. Obviously, Jun Wanjie, who was born in the collateral family and had been looked down upon by others, was extremely displeased with this kind of genius from the direct family who was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. Why was he born with something that he had to work hard to get? It seems that Jun Wanjie doesn't like Xiaoyao. Jun Zhanjian whispered. To be honest, I'm a little jealous of this son of God's status and treatment. Jun Shuhuang shook her head and said. Fortunately, Jun Wanjie was just watching coldly and didn't do anything unnecessary. Next, the banquet officially began. Most people's attention was still on Jun Xiaoyao. The princess of the great Shang dynasty stared at Jun Xiaoyao with her beautiful eyes, but she still shook her head and whispered, "I'm not worthy of Master Son of God." His words caused many of the surrounding forces to be shocked. The princess of the great Shang dynasty, who was famous for her beauty, actually said that she wasn't worthy of the Son of God of the Jun family? Who knows how strong the Son of God of the Jun family is? Maybe he's just a good-looking guy. At this time, a low voice said. Only a few people heard it and looked over. It's the one with the kingly body of stars from the Yi family. Some people's eyes flashed. Was he secretly expressing his dissatisfaction? But the Son of God of the Jun family didn't seem to have offended him. Young master, don't talk nonsense. The old sage-to-be servant next to Yi Xingyun changed his expression and whispered. Humph! Yi Xingyun's face was as gloomy as water. He was the genius of the Yi family of the ancient. Could he not even say a word? On the other side, Jiang Ro pulled Jun Xiaoyao and kept introducing Jiang Luoli. Xiaoyao, you're not young anymore. It's time for you to consider giving me a grandson, Jiang Ro said with a smile. Jun Xiaoyao was a little speechless when he heard this. What did she mean by not young anymore? Although Jun Xiaoyao looked tall and slender like a teenager of 14 or 15 years old, he was actually only 10 years old. Moreover, Jun Xiaoyao didn't feel anything when he looked at Jiang Luoli. If the marriage was really arranged, Jun Xiaoyao would feel like he was committing a crime. Jiang Luoli's face was blushing, and she didn't dare to look at Jun Xiaoyao directly. Tsk, who was the one who said that she would rather die than compromise with an arranged marriage? Jiang Xingyi teased with a smile. Sister Xingyi, don't talk nonsense. When did I say that? Jiang Luoli puffed up her cheeks and shook her head like a rattle drum. She hurriedly denied it. As long as I don't admit it, it means that I didn't say it. But he really is the most handsome person I've ever seen. Jiang Luoli thought to herself. She now felt that an arranged marriage was quite good. Yes, it was really good. Seeing Jun Xiaoyao and Jiang Luoli together, Yi Xingyun was going crazy with jealousy. Smack! Yi Xingyun slammed the wine cup in his hand on the table. The entire hall suddenly fell silent. Chapter 28. Yi Xingyun's words silenced the lively atmosphere in the main hall. Many people from the major forces looked at Yi Xingyun in astonishment, as if they were looking at a fool. It's that guy with the kingly body of stars from the Yi family of the clan of the ancients. What is he trying to do? Yeah, this is the 10-years-old banquet of the son of God of the Jun family. How dare he say such a thing? I heard that Yi Xingyun seems to be quite fond of the precious daughter of the Jiang family. Many guests around were whispering to each other. They didn't dare to say anything. After all, the Yi family was also a famous clan of the ancients with a strong foundation and countless years of history. It was better for them not to get involved in this kind of conflict. The old servant beside Yi Xingyun suddenly changed his expression when he heard Yi Xingyun's words. Young master, don't mess around. That's enough, Uncle Fu. I'm not trying to cause trouble. I just got excited when I saw the son of God of the Jun family. Yi Xingyun directly interrupted the old servant's advice. He could no longer tolerate the woman. He loved looking at Jun Xiaoyao with such a smitten look on her face. How about it, son of God of the Jun family? May I have the honor? Yi Xingyun suppressed the jealousy and anger in his heart and tried to speak as calmly as possible. He wasn't stupid. If he really spoke rudely at the Jun family's banquet, he would be courting death. However, if it was just a friendly exchange, Yi Xingyun believed that the Jun family wouldn't do anything to him. As expected, Jun Zhantian and the others frowned slightly when they heard Yi Xingyun's words, but they didn't say anything. It wasn't because Yi Xingyun was backed by the Yi family of the ancients. Jun Zhantian and the others also wanted to know how much progress Jun Xiaoyao had made after a year of closed-door cultivation. You are. Jun Xiaoyao's expression remained calm. Yi Xingyun of the Yi family. Yi Xingyun looked directly at Jun Xiaoyao and said, Oh, you are the one with the kingly body of stars. Jun Xiaoyao suddenly understood. He knew some of the young talents of the remote antiquity families. The most famous outlawed sky pride of the Yi clan of the ancients should be the legendary reincarnation of the sword demon, Yi Guqin. Wielding the Emperor Slayer sword, he was a peerless genius of the sword Dao who swept through the younger generation of the immortal domain. Rumor had it that he had never used a second sword strike when fighting against prodigies of the same generation, because no one could withstand his first strike. Yi Xingyun possessed the kingly body of stars, which was not bad. However, he was no match for Yi Guqin. If Yi Guqin was here, Jun Xiaoyao might have been a little more interested. As for Yi Xingyun, Jun Xiaoyao really didn't think much of it. There's no need. This Jun's strength is nothing special. There's no need for us to exchange pointers. Jun Xiaoyao shook his head. He was too lazy to deal with Yi Xingyun, so he found a lame excuse. Hearing Jun Xiaoyao's words, some of the influential figures looked surprised. To be honest, Jun Xiaoyao's appearance had indeed shocked them. His aura was profound and his temperament was otherworldly. He was like a banished immortal. However, in the face of Yi Xingyun's provocation, Jun Xiaoyao refused to fight. Instead, he said that his strength was nothing special. Was that really the case? Was the son of God of the Jun family only a peerless spear? Jun Zhangjian and the others were speechless when they heard this. What did he mean by nothing special? If Brother Xiaoyao is nothing special, then I'll kill myself with a piece of tofu. Jun Zhangjian was speechless. However, Yi Xingyun was unaware of Jun Xiaoyao's true strength. Previously, Jun Xiaoyao's breakthrough only attracted Yi Xingyun's attention. Now, seeing that Jun Xiaoyao was unwilling to fight, Yi Xingyun was anxious. If Jun Xiaoyao didn't fight, how could he show off in front of Jiang Luoli? After thinking for a while, Yi Xingyun said, "Son of God, you don't have to be so humble. If it's because your level is not high enough, then I can suppress my level to the peak of the divinity stage and fight with you." In Yi Xingyun's opinion, the 10-year-old Jun Xiaoyao was only at the divinity stage, no matter how monstrous he was. Yi Xingyun, on the other hand, was 16 or 17 years old, and was already a master of the fifth sky of the true spirit level. Hearing Yi Xingyun's words, everyone in the hall turned to look at Jun Xiaoyao. If Jun Xiaoyao still didn't agree, then it would cause a lot of criticism. Jun Xiaoyao sighed inwardly. He couldn't be bothered to slap Yi Xingyun's face, but someone just had to give it to him. He glanced at Jiang Luoli and roughly knew why Yi Xingyun was acting this way. Femme fatale. You're so annoying. Why do you keep harping on Brother Xiaoyao? Jiang Luoli was displeased. She wanted to have a good chat with Jun Xiaoyao and get to know him better. However, Yi Xingyun didn't know what was good for him and interfered. "Luoli, I just wanted to." Yi Xingyun's face turned green. Jiang Luoli was calling Xiaoyao brother. Jiang Luoli said impatiently, "What are you thinking? If you hurt Brother Xiaoyao's face, will you pay for it?" "What the f***ck?" Yi Xingyun choked and his face turned red. He almost couldn't help but swear. Did being handsome mean that he was superior to others and could do whatever he wanted? Yi Xingyun was even more jealous. Jun Xiaoyao was also speechless. Jiang Luoli could be the president of the Appearance Association. No need. Since you insist on sparring with the Son of God, then make your move, Jun Xiaoyao said calmly with one hand behind his back. "Brother Xiaoyao, you." Jiang Luoli hesitated. She was also a little worried that Jun Xiaoyao would be suppressed by Yi Xingyun. Tsk. Luoli is already worried about her future husband? Jiang Xingyi chuckled, revealing her pearly white teeth. Of course not. Jiang Luoli's pretty face turned red. Yi Xingyun's expression was serious. He couldn't wait to prove himself. He suppressed his cultivation level to the 9th level of the divinity stage. Jun Xiaoyao said calmly, "You can make the first move and you don't have to suppress your cultivation level. No need." Yi Xingyun refused directly. He knew that if he really did that, Jun Xiaoyao would have an excuse for his failure. That way, he wouldn't be able to show off and embarrass himself. How would he be able to impress Jiang Luoli? Sigh. Jun Xiaoyao sighed. He didn't say anything else and directly activated the divine elephant overpowering force. During this year of closed-door cultivation, Jun Xiaoyao had awakened another 10,000 granules of the giant elephant. In other words, Jun Xiaoyao had now awakened a total of 40,000 granules of the giant elephant, which was equivalent to 400 million pounds of force. 400 million pounds of force. What kind of concept was that? One palm strike was enough to shatter ancient mountains and strike the stars in the 9 heavens. Rumble. The golden sacred blood in Jun Xiaoyao's body was surging. The surging golden blood and qi gushed out of his body, forming a faint shadow of an ancient divine elephant that suppressed the heavens. Jun Xiaoyao simply pushed out with one hand. It was as if the hand of an ancient god was breaking through the earth. The force of the force caused the void to tremble and the entire hall to rumble violently. Everyone who came to attend the banquet, whether they were young geniuses or figures of the older generation, couldn't help but stand up, tongue-tied. The terrifying force made many of the figures of the older generation tremble with fear. Chapter 29. How is this possible? Your strength. Yi Xingyun roared. Feeling Jun Xiaoyao's power, he felt like his scalp was about to explode. Horror, shock, disbelief. How could this be called ordinary? Yi Xingyun wanted to curse in his heart. Not only him, but the guests around him also seemed to have been petrified. The son of God of the Jun family used the phrase ordinary, but it was very eloquent. Yi Xingyun's heart skipped a beat. But no matter what, he was still the pride of the Yi family of the clan of the ancients. His mental fortitude was not bad, so he reacted immediately. Star-plucking hand. Yi Xingyun did not hold back and immediately used his most powerful technique. He originally wanted to test Yi Xingyun's strength, but now it was completely unnecessary. Yi Xingyun stretched out his hand. The surging dermic powers condensed into a giant hand with flowing lights and brilliant stars. It seemed to be branded with the orbit of the stars. This was a powerful martial art that could only be used by the kingly body of stars. The giant hand of stars collided with Jun Xiaoyao's palm. The golden dermic powers surged and directly broke the giant hand of stars, then struck towards Yi Xingyun. Crack! Accompanied by a series of cracking sounds, Yi Xingyun was directly sent flying out of the main hall, leaving a trail on the ground. The crowd fell silent. Looking at Yi Xingyun, who was lying outside the main hall and coughing up blood, many of the heavenly talents felt their hair stand on end. Then, they looked at Jun Xiaoyao with eyes that were filled with fear. Monster. A real little monster. Yi Xingyun was not a nobody. He was the pride of the Yi family of the ancients. Not to mention, he also had the kingly body of stars. Such a young heavenly talent was sent flying by Jun Xiaoyao, who was only 10 years old. If this was not a monster, then what was? Not to mention these people, even Jiang Luoli, Jiang Shengyi, and the others were dumbfounded with their red lips wide open in disbelief. But soon after, Jiang Luoli's sparkling eyes flashed with splendor. Her criteria for choosing a partner was naturally to be handsome. That was the most important thing. If he was both handsome and powerful, then it would be even more perfect. Jun Xiaoyao, on the other hand, was a perfect match for Jiang Luoli's image of Mr. Right. As for Jiang Shengyi, a strange look flashed across his clear eyes. That golden aura is indeed the sacred body of the ancients, Jiang Shengyi thought to himself. She wasn't the only one. The eyes of many great figures present flashed as they realized what was going on. So, it really is the sacred body of the ancients. No wonder it was able to trigger the pilgrimage of the 10,000 saints 10 years ago. After all, he has the sacred body of the human race. But isn't it rumored that the sacred body of the ancients has become useless? Why is the son of God of the Jun family still so powerful? Could it be that the Jun family spent a huge amount of resources to help the son of God of the Jun family break a few shackles? That's very likely. But even so, the sacred body of the ancients won't last long. After Jun Xiaoyao made his move, almost everyone present was certain that he had the unique sacred body of the ancients. In the primordial era, the sacred body of the ancients was enough to be called a king. It was comparable to the great emperors and could rival the ancient emperors. But in the modern era, the status of the sacred body of the ancients was very awkward. Although the sacred body of the ancients was still in the top 10 among the 3,000 body type. But now, the sacred body of the ancients was far less intimidating than it was in the primordial era. You have the sacred body of the ancients. Outside the hall, Yi Xingyun struggled to get up. He felt a sharp pain in his chest. But he still had the kingly body of stars. His body was much stronger than the average genius. I told you that there was no need to spar. The result is obvious, Jun Xiaoyao said, shaking his head slightly. It's not over yet. I wasn't prepared before. Yi Xingyun gritted his teeth. He was not willing to give up just like that. Young master, you. Uncle Fu, Yi Xingyun's old servant, stopped talking. Chaotic star finger. Yi Xingyun immediately made his move and pointed his finger. In an instant, the power of the stars gathered and turned into an ancient finger. It seemed to be able to crush the stars in outer space. Boring. Jun Xiaoyao reached out his hand again. Golden qi and blood gushed out and turned into a giant golden palm. It broke the finger. Then, Jun Xiaoyao reached out and grabbed. The surging power condensed into a dark purple spear, burning with the infernal flames. It was the spear of the underworld, the ultimate technique of the divine elephant overpowering force. Jun Xiaoyao threw the spear of the underworld. A sharp whistle sounded in the void and ripples spread out. The infernal flames billowed and the sharp spear of the underworld pierced toward Yi Xingyun. Yi Xingyun's expression changed drastically when he felt the power of the spear of the underworld. Heavenly Star Shield. Yi Xingyun took out a noble weapon. It was a shield shining with starlight. However, what made people gasp was that, the spear of the underworld, which was strengthened by 400 million pounds of force, pierced through the heavenly star shield and shattered it. Yi Xingyun's face was filled with horror. Jun Xiaoyao's moves made his hair stand on end and sent chills down his spine. Black hole palm. Yi Xingyun took out his ultimate technique and activated the special star spirit C in his dantian to the extreme. He struck out with his palm and it seemed to manifest a black hole. The spear of the underworld was swallowed into the black hole. However, Yi Xingyun also suffered from the backlash. He was forced to retreat dozens of steps and vomited blood. His arm was trembling violently. It's over. Jun Xiaoyao used the combatant formula again. Endless golden light burst out and turned into thousands of divine weapons. Sabers, spears, swords, halberds, axes, hooks, and forks. They roared like a torrent and cut through the void. This power made many young geniuses from different forces turn pale and their hearts tremble. Constellation true form. Seeing this, Yi Xingyun roared into the sky and stopped suppressing his level. His cultivation of LV5 true spirit realm burst out. He knew that if he continued to suppress his level, he would really be suppressed by Jun Xiaoyao. However, Jun Xiaoyao's expression did not change at all. He had also completely revealed his cultivation base. Boom! His cultivation of LV9 true spirit realm gushed out and the golden magical power rose like a burning flame. This is LV9 true spirit realm. How is this possible? The son of God of the Jun family is only 10 years old. When Jun Xiaoyao completely unleashed his cultivation, everyone in the hall was shocked as if they had seen a ghost. Yi Xingyun's face froze and he felt a chill in his heart. Jun Xiaoyao was younger than him and his level was higher. Most importantly, Yi Xingyun was more handsome than him. Would Yi Xingyun be angry? Boom! The two of them exchanged blows and the result was as expected. The sacred body of the ancients could firmly suppress Yi Xingyun's kingly body of stars. Jun Xiaoyao's level was also higher than Yi Xingyun's. In the end, Yi Xingyun spat out blood. His sternum was broken and his body was covered with bleeding wounds. He was sent flying out of the hall like a rag bag. Young master. Uncle Fu's expression changed and he quickly checked on Yi Xingyun's condition. After checking, Uncle Fu heaved a sigh of relief. Although Yi Xingyun was seriously injured, his foundation was not damaged. Yi Xingyun's face was pale, and he looked at Jun Xiaoyao unwillingly. Brother Xiaoyao is so handsome. Jiang Luoli's eyes sparkled. She stared at Jun Xiaoyao like a fangirl and drooled. She did not even look at Yi Xingyun. Seeing this, Yi Xingyun spat out a mouthful of blood. Anger rushed to his head and he fainted. At the moment of fainting, Yi Xingyun's consciousness seemed to have arrived at a strange place. He looked around and saw a magnificent constellation palace standing among the stars in the universe. In front of the constellation palace, a figure covered in the sun, moon, and stars had his back to him. It was as if the figure stood above the heavens. Chapter 30. The atmosphere in the hall was dead silent. Yi Xingyun, the proud son of the Yi family of the clan of the ancients, was so angry that he vomited blood and fainted. If they hadn't seen it with their own eyes, they would never have believed that the 10-year-old Jun Xiaoyao could defeat Yi Xingyun so easily. Most importantly, compared to Yi Xingyun's sorry state, Jun Xiaoyao's white robe was spotless. There wasn't even a wrinkle on it. This was no longer a friendly match. It was a complete one-sided defeat. The son of God of the Jun family is so terrifying. Many people were shocked. The divine child of the Jun family will be one of the brightest stars of this era. He is destined to leave his name in the annals of history, a white-bearded old man with a transcendent aura exclaimed. The one who spoke is an old Taoist from the Daoji heavenly sect. He once preached at the North Mountain. I can't believe he has such a high opinion of the Son of God of the Jun family. Everyone was even more shocked when they heard the old Taoist from the Daoji heavenly sect's evaluation of Jun Xiaoyao. The beautiful princess of the great Shang dynasty was also in a daze as she murmured to herself. Once I met the Son of God, I would be wrong for the rest of my life. Other men would no longer be pleasing to my eyes. The words of the princess of the great Shang dynasty broke the hearts of many men. What the princess of the great Shang dynasty meant was that after meeting the Son of God of the Jun family, other men would no longer be pleasing to her eyes. What kind of extraordinary existence could make the princess of the great Shang dynasty say such words? Everyone's eyes were locked onto Jun Xiaoyao at the moment. Jun Xiaoyao himself, on the other hand, was very calm. Defeating Yi Xingyun was no big deal to him. Thank you, Lord Son of God, for showing mercy. Our young master was just too impulsive. He didn't mean anything else. Uncle Fu, Yi Xingyun's old servant, hurriedly explained, fearing that Jun Xiaoyao would misunderstand. Although they were backed by the Yi family of the clan of the ancients, they didn't want to offend the Jun family. Oh, of course I know. It's just a simple exchange of pointers, Jun Xiaoyao said with a smile. When he heard Jun Xiaoyao's words, he looked at Yi Xingyun, who was covered in wounds and had fainted. How could this be called a friendly exchange? He had almost beaten him to death. Even Uncle Fu's mouth twitched. He forced out a smile and said, Since Lord Son of God is magnanimous, then this old man will take the young master away first. Jun Xiaoyao nodded casually. After all, Yi Xingyun was a member of the Yi family of the clan of the ancients. Although Jun Xiaoyao was not afraid of him, he did not intend to do anything to him. Yi Xingyun was just an idiot who was impulsive because of a woman. After that, Uncle Fu took the unconscious Yi Xingyun and left the Jun residence in disgrace. Haha, I'm sorry to spoil everyone's mood. This Jun will drink a cup of wine as compensation. Jun Xiaoyao looked around, then raised the wine cup in his hand and drained it in one gulp. You're welcome, Son of God. You're too kind. That's right, that's right. Such an exciting battle has really opened our eyes. All the people present, regardless of whether they were of the younger generation or the older generation, stood up and returned the toast. No one dared to remain seated. Jun Zhangjian and Jun Shuhuang also stood up to toast. Only one figure remained seated. He did not stand up, nor did he intend to return the toast. It was Jun Wanjie. At this moment, Jun Wanjie's face was cold and indifferent. There seemed to be thunder interweaving in the depths of his dark eyes. There was a hint of seriousness in his eyes. He had seen the battle between Jun Xiaoyao and Yi Xingyun just now. To be honest, Jun Xiaoyao's strength had far exceeded his expectations. At such a young age, Yi Xingyun already had the combat strength of a top genius. What would happen in a few years? Jun Xiaoyao also noticed Jun Wanjie. Is that Jun Wanjie, the fifth sequence? He was born in a collateral family and was looked down on. Later, he accidentally obtained the supreme technique and the heavenly skill of tribulation transcendence. He awakened the thunder calamity combat constitution and rose to become the fifth sequence. Why does this script seem so familiar? Jun Xiaoyao muttered to himself. Isn't this the plot of a loser who found a supreme technique and turned the tables? He's even older than Xiao Qin, who is a grandfather with a ring. However, Jun Xiaoyao did not pay too much attention to it. As long as Jun Wanjie did not provoke him, he would not take the initiative to target him. Brother Xiaoyao, you were so cool when you attacked just now. Jiang Luoli stared at Jun Xiaoyao with blazing eyes. The more she looked at him, the more she liked him. It's all right, Jun Xiaoyao said as he sipped his tea. He was not interested in this kind of little girl. After all, she was not a bronze-refining warlock. Moreover, Jiang Luoli was too short. If he really married her when the time came, he would probably fall into the stomach. Not to mention that he had the sacred body of the ancients, and the divine treasure of the kidney was exceptionally strong. Jiang Ro smiled and said, Is the girl moved? Do you want to settle down now? Jiang Luoli heard this and blushed slightly. She twisted her fingers and said rather embarrassedly, Mother, pff, cough. Jun Xiaoyao almost spat out the tea in his mouth. However, for the sake of his image, he swallowed it and coughed twice. Xiaoyao, what's wrong with you? I think Luoli is very good, Jiang Ro said. Jun Xiaoyao sighed and said, Luoli is 1.5 meters tall. What, Brother Xiaoyao, you actually said that I'm short. Jiang Luoli's eyes widened. She raised her snow-white neck and looked up at Jun Xiaoyao. She was only 12 years old, 2 years older than Jun Xiaoyao, but her height only reached Jun Xiaoyao's chest. It was the most adorable height difference. Is that not the case? Jun Xiaoyao raised his eyebrows. Jiang Luoli ground her sparkling canine teeth and puffed up her cheek. Her big black eyes moved, revealing a hint of slyness. Then, she opened her small mouth and bit Jun Xiaoyao's arm. She wanted to leave a mark on Jun Xiaoyao's body. A mark that belonged exclusively to her, Jiang Luoli. In this way, Jun Xiaoyao would not ignore or forget about her. Then, after she bit down, it hurts! Jiang Luoli cried out in pain. One of her canine teeth was broken. She covered her mouth and tears welled up in her eyes. You know I have the sacred body of the ancients and you still bit me. Are you a dog? Jun Xiaoyao was speechless. He had the sacred body of the ancients, which made his body comparable to a divine weapon. At his current stage, he could fight with his bare hands and even shatter a noble weapon. Jiang Luoli wanted to leave a bite mark on his body. How could that be possible? Jun Xiaoyao grabbed Jiang Luoli's waist and slapped Jiang Luoli's delicate butt. To deal with such a naughty little girl, she had to be beaten into submission. Smack! There was a crisp sound. Jiang Luoli was stunned. Her watery eyes widened in disbelief. Jiang Xingyi's expression froze as well. Jiang Ro's face was full of pride, as expected of her son. All the people present awkwardly avoided eye contact. Chapter 31. Jun Xiaoyao came back to his senses and realized that it was inappropriate for him to do that in public, so he let go of Jiang Luoli's waist. Jiang Luoli's face was so red that it looked like it was going to bleed. She was so ashamed that she wanted to crawl into a hole. Boo-hoo, I got spanked in public. Jiang Luoli threw herself into Jiang Xingyi's arms and buried her head like an ostrich. She was the pearl of the Jiang family, a virgin. It was only natural that she would feel ashamed to be treated like that. Jiang Xingyi touched Jiang Luoli's little head and couldn't help but roll her eyes at Jun Xiaoyao. Although this nephew of his looked like a celestial being that had been banished from the immortal world, he was still very handsome. However, he seemed to be a little naughty. After Jiang Xingyi rolled her eyes at him, Jun Xiaoyao took notice of his nominal aunt. That fluctuation. Is it really the innate Taoist embryo? Jun Xiaoyao's eyes dimmed as he muttered to himself. Jiang Ro had already told Jun Xiaoyao about it before. Jiang Luoli was the pearl of the Jiang family. She had the rare elemental spirit Taoist body, which was enough to rank in the top 100 of the 3,000 constitutions. Jiang Shengyi, on the other hand, was the goddess of the Jiang family. She had the even rarer innate Taoist embryo. This constitution was not much weaker than the sacred body of the ancients. The sacred body of the ancients, the innate Taoist embryo. Rumor has it that a long time ago there was a great emperor who touched the realm of the immortal path. He had a supreme constitution, the innate sacred body of the ancients. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes flickered. He stopped thinking about it. At that moment Jun Zhantian stepped forward, cleared his throat and said, "Thank you, seniors, for coming to my grandchild's banquet. Today, the Jun family has another announcement to make at this banquet." When he said this, Jun Zhantian's face became solemn and formal. "What is it?" Seeing the serious expression on Jun Zhantian's face, everyone was flabbergasted. "I'm sure everyone knows that there are 10 sequences in the Jun family, and each of them is a peerless genius. However, there is another position above the 10 sequences." Jun Zhantian's words caused the expressions of everyone in the hall to freeze. Then, as if they had thought of something, their expressions suddenly changed. The 2 sequences, Jun Zhanjian and Jun Xuehuang, also seemed to have thought of something. They suddenly stood up, their faces filled with shock and disbelief. Jun Wanjie's face became even more solemn. Jun Xiaoyao, the son of God of the Jun family, will be the sequence 0 of the Jun family. His position will be above the 10 sequences. As soon as he finished speaking, everyone fell silent. Everyone's eyes were filled with shock. Everyone knew what sequence 0 meant. It was because the previous sequence 0 of the Jun family was Jun Xiaoyao's father, the white-robed divine king Jun Wuhui. The news announced by Jun Zhantian was like a huge rock falling into the ocean, setting off huge waves. It was conceivable that when the news spread today, the entire Huangtian mystic realm would be in an uproar. After all, the sequence 0 of the Jun family was extraordinary. If nothing unexpected happened, he would be the core figure of the Jun family in the future, and his existence would be like a pillar. In terms of status, even the first sequence was slightly weaker than the sequence 0. Brother Xiaoyao has already been decided to be the sequence 0? Jun Zhanjian took a deep breath and suppressed the shock in his heart. He had thought that Jun Xiaoyao was likely to join the fight for the sequences after he turned 10 years old. As it turned out, he didn't need to join the fight at all. He was already decided to be the sequence 0. In this regard, although Jun Zhanjian was shocked, he was not jealous. After all, he had personally experienced Jun Xiaoyao's strength. He was indeed qualified to be the sequence 0. "I didn't expect that the Son of God was already the sequence 0. Jun Xuehuang's chest heaved up and down. She was also shocked. Jun Wanjie, on the other hand, clenched his fists tightly. There seemed to be a vast amount of lightning intertwining in his eyes, indicating that his heart was not calm. "Why?" Jun Wanjie said coldly in his heart. Why was Jun Xiaoyao able to get something that he had to go through so much trouble to get? The identity of the Son of God was not a big deal. Now, even the supreme identity of the sequence 0 was directly given to Jun Xiaoyao. For geniuses like Jun Wanjie, just to compete for the identity of the sequence, he had to go through many difficult tests before he finally stood out among the geniuses of the Jun family. Jun Wanjie felt indignant, unsatisfied, and indignant. Jun Zhantian glanced around and saw the shocked and awestruck expressions. He couldn't help but nod in satisfaction. This was the effect he wanted. After the 10-years-old banquet, it was time for Jun Xiaoyao to enter the world. And before that, the Jun family had to build momentum for Jun Xiaoyao. The identity of the sequence 0 was undoubtedly the fastest way to build Jun Xiaoyao's reputation. Is he going to take over his father's business? Many people's gazes began to change as they looked at Jun Xiaoyao. Jun Xiaoyao's father, Jun Wuhui, was the sequence 0 of the previous generation. Now, he had also become the sequence 0. Just the identity of the Son of God alone made Jun Xiaoyao indescribably noble. Now, there was also the identity of the sequence 0. With these two identities combined, there were probably not many people who would dare to provoke Jun Xiaoyao. Big Brother Xiaoyao is actually the sequence 0? Jiang Luoli poked her small face out of Jiang Xingyi's arms and blinked her eyes. One of the people she admired the most was Jun Xiaoyao's father, the white-robed divine king, Jun Wuhui. Now that Jun Xiaoyao had taken over his father's business, it made Jun Xiaoyao seem even more charming, as if he was the next white-robed divine king. But Big Brother Xiaoyao actually spanked my butt and said I was short. How bad? Jiang Luoli muttered. Although she was a little angry with Jun Xiaoyao, she couldn't resist the fact that Jun Xiaoyao was really handsome. Regardless of strength, identity, background, or appearance, he was almost unparalleled in the world. Jiang Luoli definitely couldn't get rid of the law of fragrance. Jiang Ro's eyes revealed a trace of reminiscence and emotion as she muttered to herself, "Wu Hui, did you see that? Our child has now become the sequence 0, just as all the forces were in shock." An ice-cold voice sounded. "Clan Elder, I have a question." Upon hearing this voice, the expressions of the two sequences, Jun Zhanjian and Jun Xuehuang, changed. Jun Zhantian also looked over and secretly frowned. The person who spoke was none other than the sequence 5, Jun Wanjie. Jun Xiaoyao also looked over with an expressionless face. He definitely wanted the identity of the sequence 0. If Jun Wanjie didn't know what was good for him, Jun Xiaoyao wouldn't back down either. "What's your question?" Jun Zhantian asked calmly. "May I ask if Jun Xiaoyao has ever participated in the sequence competition?" Jun Wanjie asked in a deep voice. "No," Jun Zhantian replied. "May I ask if Jun Xiaoyao has ever made any significant contributions to the family?" Jun Wanjie continued to ask. "No." Jun Zhantian's face darkened. Jun Xiaoyao hadn't stepped out into the world yet. How could he have made any contributions to the Jun family? "May I ask if Jun Xiaoyao has ever passed the 5 stages, killed the 6 generals, and won the position of the sequence 0? Jun Wanjie asked 3 questions in a row. "No." Jun Zhantian's voice was slightly cold. If someone from another force had questioned him like this, Jun Zhantian would have slapped him out. However, the person who spoke was the sequence 5 of the Jun family. If he attacked him, the Jun family would lose face. If that's the case, how can Jun Xiaoyao become the sequence 0 for no reason? Jun Wanjie suddenly stood up and questioned sternly. The violent lightning of the thunder tribulation flickered in his eyes. The atmosphere was dead silent. Even Jun Zhantian couldn't say anything for a while. In this dead silence, Jun Xiaoyao took a step forward and stood with his hands behind his back, like an immortal in white. "Since you have so many questions, I'll tell you. The identity of the sequence 0 was bestowed by the 18th ancestor. The reason he did so was because he trusted me." Chapter 32. With me around, the Jun family will never have to worry about not having a great emperor. Jun Xiaoyao's words were majestic, as if they could swallow mountains and rivers. Jun Xiaoyao's words seemed to echo throughout the great hall and even the entire Jun family. At that moment, the faces of all the people from the major forces who came to the banquet froze. Rumble! The sky changed color and thunder rumbled, as if they were echoing Jun Xiaoyao's words. These words were not to be said casually. Some words would lead to great karma. The Son of God of the Jun family has an invincible spirit. Listening to the Son of God's words, could it be that he has the confidence to become a great emperor? The road to becoming a great emperor is going to be interesting. Many of the powerhouses of the older generation sighed. The hearts of the beauties from the major forces were also swayed by Jun Xiaoyao's words. which beauty did not want to be matched with a hero? A real man should be like this. The princess of the Great Shang sighed. Her heart had already fallen. As for Jiang Luoli, the corners of her mouth were almost dripping with saliva. She did not look like the pearl of the Jiang family at all. Jun Xiaoyao did not care about the gazes of the people around him. Instead, he looked down at Jun Wanjie and said lightly, "Are you satisfied with this answer?" Jun Xiaoyao's rhetorical question made Jun Wanjie's throat choke. His cheeks were gloomy, but he could not say anything to refute. That was because even he had almost been intimidated by Jun Xiaoyao's invincible spirit just moments ago. At that moment, an old voice came from the depths of the Jun family's residence. "Good." That one word made everyone's expression change abruptly. "It's the 18th ancestor." Jun Zhantian's voice trembled slightly. The 18th ancestor was an ancestor of the Jun family, and he did not show up easily. The last time he showed up was when Jun Xiaoyao was born. This time, although the 18th ancestor still did not show up, the word "good" was obviously praising Jun Xiaoyao for his spirit. Confirming one's Tao and becoming an emperor was not something that anyone dared to boast about. Even some of the top geniuses would feel uneasy and uncertain. Since the 18th ancestor had spoken, what else could Jun Wanjie say? No matter how arrogant and domineering he would never dare to contradict the 18th ancestor. "Wanjie has been rude. I still have other matters to attend to. Goodbye." Jun Wanjie glanced coldly at Jun Xiaoyao, then turned around and left without any hesitation. If he continued to stay here, it would only add to his frustration. Jun Zhantian's expression softened a little when he saw this. Although this Jun Wanjie's character was somewhat unreasonable, he was not a fool and could still see the big picture. If he was unwilling to give up and ended up fighting with Jun Xiaoyao on the spot, it would be a disgrace to the Jun family. Jun Xiaoyao looked at Jun Wanjie's back as he left, thinking of his cold gaze just now. He knew that Jun Wanjie was still unwilling to give up. Even if he stopped now, he would still find trouble with him in the future. "Jun Wanjie, I hope you're not as stupid as Xiao Qin. Otherwise, even if you're a member of the Jun family, I won't hold back at all," Jun Xiaoyao muttered to himself. He would sweep away any obstacle that stood in his way. It didn't matter if the obstacle came from the outside world or from within the family. With Jun Wanjie's departure, the atmosphere in the hall returned to its original state. "Congratulations, son of God." Jun Xuehuang stood up and raised her glass to Jun Xiaoyao. She didn't have the same hostility toward Jun Xiaoyao as Jun Wanjie did. At most, she was a little envious. "Thank you." Jun Xiaoyao smiled and raised his glass to return the gesture. He had always appreciated people who could see the big picture. "Congratulations, son of God." Jun Zhanjian also stood up to congratulate him. He didn't address Jun Xiaoyao as Xiaoyao's younger brother anymore because he knew that he no longer had that qualification. Son of God's identity and Sequence Zero's identity. In the younger generation of the Jun family, there shouldn't be anyone with a higher status than Jun Xiaoyao. Even the Sequence 1 who had been in seclusion all this time, or the Sequence 2 and Sequence 3 who had been training outside, had a lower status than Jun Xiaoyao. I really don't know what kind of attitude those people would have if they knew that Xiaoyao's younger brother had become Sequence 0, Jun Zhanjian thought to himself. Although they were both sequences of the Jun family, Jun Zhanjian didn't even have the courage to draw his sword when facing the top sequences. To be able to become one of the top sequences of the Jun family, none of them were simple people. They either had polychoria or some kind of taboo inheritance. Jun Xiaoyao naturally knew that those sequences weren't simple. However, he believed that with his talent and strength, he would be able to settle any trouble. Then, the banquet continued. Jun Xiaoyao was wondering why the system hadn't prompted him to check in yet. At that moment, in the sky outside the Jun family's mountain gate, an arrogant, cold, and mocking voice suddenly sounded. "Son of God of the Jun family, Your tone is indeed arrogant. I wonder if your strength is worthy of your tone? Hearing this voice, everyone in the hall trembled. Who was this voice? Who dared to say such words at the Son of God of the June family's 10-years-old banquet? Even if you want to die, you shouldn't die in such a way. Outside the hall, many people from various forces looked at the sky outside the hall. In the distant sky, a Jiao dragon with green wings on its back crossed the sky, and a group of people stood on top of it. Some had horns on their heads, some had wings on their backs, and some had scales on their bodies. At a glance, they didn't look like humans. The young man in the lead was dressed in a golden robe with 2 dragon horns on his head. His expression was arrogant and unruly. The words just now came from his mouth. That's the Archean royalty, the dragon son of Zulong. An old man from a major force took a deep breath and said, the Archean royalty was a super force comparable to the clan of the Ancients, the Supreme Sect, and the immortal Jin dynasty. The ancient emperor of the Archean royalty was comparable to the great emperors of the human race. In some eras, the ancient emperors even dominated the immortal realm, standing above billions of creatures. Zulong was the top force in the Archean royalty, on par with the top royal families such as Wanhuang's Spirit Mountain and the ancient Qilin Cave. And now, the dragon son of Zulong came to the 10-years-old banquet of the June family's Son of God. As long as one wasn't a fool, one should know that Zulong didn't come with good intentions. Some people couldn't help but think of the feud between Zulong and the June family, and their eyes couldn't help but flicker. It seemed that they were going to see another good show today. Zulong, Jun Xiaoyao muttered to himself. He had heard Jun Zhantian mention this force before. Zulong was the Jun family's enemy. In this life, Zulong produced a forbidden first-generation Long Outian who had the blood of the Emperor Dragon. He had crushed many young geniuses of the Jun family. Of course, the Jun family had also tortured and killed geniuses of Zulong. The 2 forces were like fire and water. Even his father, Jun Wuhui, the white-clad divine king, had tortured and killed a quasi-supreme from Zulong when he was in the saint stage. That was the battle that made Jun Wuhui famous. Humph, what bad luck! Jun Zhantian's face darkened. It was impossible for them to invite Zulong to the banquet. What's wrong? The Jun family of the Ancients doesn't even dare to let people in? Long Haotian said arrogantly. As soon as he said that, Jun Zhanjian, Jun Xuehuang, and the other sequences were all furious. This Zulong dragon son was really arrogant. Grandpa, let them in. They're just a few loaches. Chapter 33. Jun Xiaoyao did not avoid the topic and directly said it. As soon as he said this, all the cultivators present were stunned, and then they sighed in their hearts. As expected of the son of God of the Jun family, he dared to say that Zulong's son was a loach. Long Haotian was not deaf, and he obviously heard Jun Xiaoyao's words. His eyes narrowed slightly, and a cold light flashed in them. The purpose of his visit this time was to disgust the Jun family. He wanted to trample on the Son of God of the Jun family at the 10-years-old banquet of the Son of God of the Jun family and make Zulong famous. After all, Zulong's reputation had never been good before. Jun Wuhui, as a saint, had torn apart Zulong, a quasi-supreme, with his bare hands, making Zulong the laughing-stock of the Huangtian mystic realm. Although no forces dared to talk about it in front of the people of Zulong, they were all mocking Zulong behind his back. Therefore, Long Haotian also wanted to return the favor and trample on Jun Wuhui's descendant. Long Haotian also had the confidence to do so. He had integrated a dragon essence. Although he had not completely refined it, it was enough for him to stand at the top of the younger generation. He was not afraid of anyone except for a few supreme geniuses. Under Jun Zhantian's tacit consent, the guards of the Jun family did not stop Long Haotian and the others from entering. In addition to Long Haotian, some young geniuses of the far ancient royal family also followed. Although the far ancient royal family was slightly weaker than the Archean royalty, they were still a top force. Unlike Long Haotian, these beings of the far ancient royal family were still a little afraid. After all, the Jun family was one of the most famous and prosperous families of the ancient. Their actions were tantamount to provocation, and it would be strange if they were not afraid. However, with Long Haotian in front of them, these beings of the far ancient royal family still calmed down. If the sky collapsed, there was someone higher to hold it up. What were they afraid of? On the other side, Jun Xiaoyao glanced at Long Haotian and the others indifferently. Suddenly, he noticed a familiar figure. A charming woman in a blue dress followed behind Long Haotian. Her eyes were filled with resentment as she stared at Jun Xiaoyao and Jun Linglong. "It's him." Jun Xiaoyao raised his eyebrows slightly. He saw a figure that he thought he would never see again. "It's you, Lan Qingya. What's going on?" On the other side, Jun Zhangjian couldn't help but exclaim in astonishment after sweeping his gaze across the battlefield. Didn't he banish Lan Qingya from the Jun family? Why would he appear next to Long Haotian now? Hearing Jun Zhangjian's reprimand, the corners of Long Haotian's mouth suddenly curled into a playful smile. He reached out and lifted Lan Qingya's snow-white chin right in front of Jun Zhangjian. His eyes were filled with provocation as he said, "What are you talking about? She's my slave right now, isn't she?" "Yes, Qingya is Master Long's slave," Lan Qingya said obediently. "You be *tch. Jun Zhangjian's black hair fluttered in the wind. His face was cold, and his eyes flashed with murderous intent. Because he missed their past relationship, he only chased Lan Qingya away and didn't make things difficult for her. In the end, Lan Qingya lured Zulong's people here. One had to know that her previous identity was Jun Zhangjian's follower. After such a thing happened, how would the elders of the Jun family view him? On top of that, Long Haotian used Lan Qingya to humiliate the Jun family's sequence. Where would Jun Zhangjian put his face? Thinking of this, Jun Zhangjian's heart sank. Out of the corner of his eye, he could faintly see that the elders of the Jun family's faces were somewhat gloomy. It wasn't good for the older generation to intervene in this kind of competition between the younger generation. It would ruin their reputation. Damn it, if this matter isn't handled properly, I might lose my sequence status. Jun Zhangjian clenched his fists. Just as Jun Zhangjian's expression changed, Jun Xiaoyao stepped forward and said indifferently, "I didn't expect that Zulong's dragon son would have such a hobby." "Hobby?" Long Haotian frowned and looked at Jun Xiaoyao. This ridiculously handsome young man was the target he wanted to trample under his feet today. "I didn't expect you to have a hobby of picking up broken shoes. You're willing to accept someone my Jun family's sequence doesn't want. You're really an old hero." Jun Xiaoyao's tone was understated. Hearing this, Long Haotian's eyes widened and his face immediately turned green. It became extremely ugly. Wasn't this saying that he, Long Haotian, was picking up trash that others didn't want? Lan Qingya's face was as pale as a sheet. She was so embarrassed that her fingers were trembling. No woman wanted to be called a broken shoe. Jun Xiaoyao's two simple sentences immediately turned the situation around. Originally, Long Haotian wanted to humiliate the Jun family's sequence. But now, he was the one being mocked. Although the people from the various forces around didn't dare to laugh at Long Haotian openly, their eyes were full of ridicule and contempt. Son of God! Jun Zhangjian's heart trembled. Jun Xiaoyao was helping him out of his predicament. At the thought of this, Jun Zhangjian looked at Jun Xiaoyao with a faint sense of gratitude. What Jun Xiaoyao said was all it took to resolve the awkwardness and crisis he was in. "We're all family. Don't say anything unnecessary." Jun Xiaoyao smiled faintly. Jun Zhangjian nodded heavily, but he had made a decision in his heart. Jun Xiaoyao was worthy of his loyalty and following. Son of God is indeed unfathomable. With just a few words, he resolved Jun Zhangjian's dilemma. Jun Xuehuang muttered to herself, Jun Xiaoyao's quick-wittedness was not something a 10-year-old boy should be capable of. Wow, I see another side of brother Xiaoyao again, Jiang Luoli exclaimed. Jun Xiaoyao not only looked like a fairy, but he was also extremely powerful. His EQ and wisdom were also outstanding. With just a few words, he made Zulong the dragon's son speechless and humiliated him. Humph, is Jun Wuhui's descendant only good at talking? That's a little disappointing. Long Haotian's face was as gloomy as water. That's right. Isn't it just the sacred body of the ancients? Do you really think you're invincible? You're nothing in front of the dragon's son, Lan Qingya said sarcastically. With Long Haotian behind her, she dared to speak. You're just a bug. How dare you talk so much? Jun Xiaoyao said with a cold look in his eyes. In his eyes, Lan Qingya was already a dead person. It was only a matter of time before she died. Since Lan Qingya was in such a hurry to be reincarnated, Jun Xiaoyao could only fulfill her wish. Rumble! Jun Xiaoyao raised his hand. Endless golden divine power surged and turned into a giant palm, directly slamming towards Lan Qingya. This sudden action was out of everyone's expectations. How dare you attack in front of me? You're too arrogant. Long Haotian's eyes immediately narrowed like golden dragon eyes. He wanted to attack to protect Lan Qingya. If the Son of God wants to kill, no one can stop me. Jun Xiaoyao's voice was as cold as a god's. He raised his other hand and thousands of divine weapons surged out. It was the army attack formula. The torrent of divine weapons poured towards Long Haotian, causing his expression to change. Jun Xiaoyao's strength was beyond his expectations. Rumble! In the eyes of many forces, Long Haotian's body suddenly retreated. His arms trembled violently, and a trace of horror appeared in his eyes. At that moment, the giant golden palm was already pressing down on Lan Qingya's head. No! Save me, dragon's son! Lan Qingya's face was as pale as paper. Her beautiful eyes were filled with extreme fear as she let out a shrill scream. However, as the giant golden palm slammed down, her scream came to an abrupt end. The entire book. Chapter 34. Boom! The giant golden palm made of magical power came crashing down like a corner of the heavens. Accompanied by a hair-raising cracking sound, fresh blood spurted out from the giant golden palm. The blood even splashed onto Long Haotian's body, causing his entire body to be covered in blood. Stunned. Astonished. At that moment, all the people from the various forces were silent. They didn't expect Jun Xiaoyao to be so overbearing. He attacked without saying anything and killed Lan Qingya with a single palm. Moreover, he did it in front of Long Haotian. Many observant people also noticed that Jun Xiaoyao knocked Long Haotian back with a casual move. Although Long Haotian was caught off guard, the fact that he was knocked back with a single blow was enough to explain some problems. As the giant palm made of magical power dissipated, there was only a pile of mangled flesh left on the spot. It was a nauseating sight. She was a beauty just a moment ago, and the next moment, she was turned into a pile of mangled flesh. The contrast was too drastic. Many people looked at Jun Xiaoyao with a kind of respect. This deity's son is truly decisive. Even if it's a woman, he would still kill her. This is the Son of God's demeanor. If he was the kind of person who showed mercy when he saw a woman, people would look down on him. Some of the old antiques of the major forces were whispering to each other. Jun Xiaoyao's performance lived up to his identity as the Son of God and Sequence 0 of the Jun family. You deserve to die. Long Haotian's eyes were burning with anger, but at the same time, there was a look of horror in his eyes. Jun Xiaoyao had only stopped him with a casual move, yet Long Haotian felt an almost unstoppable divine power from that move. As the son of the dragon of Zulong, his physical body was the best among the top geniuses. However, Jun Xiaoyao's casual move made his arms tremble so much that they felt like they were going to shatter. Even if Jun Xiaoyao has the sacred body of the ancients, His physical body can't be this strong, Long Haotian said coldly with a gloomy face. At that moment, a few far ancient royal prodigies who had followed Long Haotian stepped forward and shouted angrily. Son of God of the Jun family, you are truly despicable. You actually dared to launch a sneak attack. That's right. If you hadn't suddenly attacked, how could Lord Dragon's son have possibly been forced back? Clearly, these primordial royal prodigies were trying to save Long Haotian's face. How dare you! The son of God of the Jun family is not someone you ants can casually criticize. Jun Zhangjian's eyes fluttered as the long sword on his back rose into the air. He held it in his hand and a terrifying sword intent spread out. Today, Jun Xiaoyao was like a benefactor to Jun Zhangjian. Jun Xiaoyao helped him out, so Jun Zhangjian naturally had to return the favor. Jun Xuehuang stepped forward as well. Her icy blue eyes seemed to be filled with coldness. You have no right to be presumptuous in the Jun family. For a moment, the young prodigies of the far ancient royal prodigies were confronting the Jun family's sequence. Their fighting spirit and murderous intent filled the air. On the other side, Jun Xiaoyao stood with his hands behind his back with a cold expression. Jun Zhangjian and Jun Xuehuang, on the other hand, were full of fighting spirit. On the other side, Long Haotian was full of vigor and his eyes were filled with gloominess. The group of far ancient royal beings around him were also in high spirits. Let me, Niu Dingtian, have a taste of this legendary divine child of the Jun family. Let's see how capable he is. A tall and burly young man stepped forward. He had 2 black horns on his head. With every step he took, the earth seemed to tremble. That is Niu Dingtian, a young powerhouse from the far ancient royal demonic bull mountain. Rumor has it that he once fought against 10 human geniuses alone. Many young geniuses from different forces whispered. This was a rather famous genius from the far ancient royal family. You are not qualified to fight against the Son of God. Jun Zhangjian's figure flashed and his sword swept across the sky. So what if you are the Son of God of the Jun family? So what if you are Sequence 0? Today's banquet will be a disgrace to the Jun family. A beautiful woman with a pair of wings on her back made a move. She was a genius from the far ancient royal family, the winged human tribe. My Jun family is not to be provoked by any Tom, Dick, or Harry. Jun Xuehuang's tone was indifferent. She raised her jade-like hand and the endless cold air around her condensed into ice spears. In addition, some famous beings from the far ancient royal family also made a move at the same time. For a moment, magic power surged and divine light flashed across the sky. The void exploded and the surroundings shook. Jun Zhangjian and Jun Xuehuang, the 2 sequences of the Jun family, blocked all the geniuses from the far ancient royal family. 9 swords of the rising sun. Jun Zhangjian possessed the heart-illuminated sword. Any sword technique could be cultivated to the peak of perfection. His 9 swords pierced through the air and slashed down like 9 divine lights. A being from the far ancient royal family was torn into pieces and died on the spot. Cold air flowed around Jun Xuehuang as the ice spears pierced through. A being from the far ancient royal family screamed as his body was pierced through. The sequences of the Jun family are so strong. Many guests from different forces could not help but exclaim. The most eye-catching person at this banquet was naturally Jun Xiaoyao. However, Jun Zhangjian, Jun Xuehuang, and the other sequences of the Jun family were also shining brightly at this moment. Jun Zhangjian is ranked 10th among the 10 sequences of the Jun family, and Jun Xuehuang is only ranked 7th. Even so, their strength is still shocking. TSK. I heard that among the top 5 sequences of the Jun family, there are people with polychoria and supreme geniuses who have obtained forbidden inheritances. Their strength is unbelievably strong. Ordinary forces would be proud if they had one genius like this. However, the Jun family has 10 of them. Not to mention, there is also the Son of God of the Jun family. Sequence 0 has not appeared for a long time. This is the foundation of the clan of the ancients. It's nothing to be envious of. Some of the old-timers from first-rate forces sighed and were envious at the same time. This was the Jun family, an extremely glorious and indestructible top-notch clan of the ancients. Long Haotian's face was gloomy as he looked at the geniuses of the far ancient royal family who were bleeding. He had come this time to trample Jun Xiaoyao under his feet. As it turned out, Jun Xiaoyao was safe and sound, while the people on his side were almost all dead. Indestructible sword body, 10,000 swords as one. Jun Zhangjian activated the power of his indestructible sword body. 10,000 sword qi appeared, swept across the void, and finally condensed into a sword that could cut the sky. Niu Dingtian, the young genius of the demonic Bull Mountain, was directly cut in half by the sword, and blood burst out. Frozen snow lotus. Jun Shui Huang raised her jade-like hands, and an endless amount of ice magic power converged to form a magnificent ice lotus. It looked beautiful, but it seemed to contain the power to freeze eternally. Go! Jun Shuhuang threw the snow lotus at the genius of the Feathermen tribe. Oh no! The genius of the Feathermen tribe turned pale. Feeling that powerful cold air, she knew that she couldn't block it at all. At this critical moment, a figure like a fierce dragon broke free from its shackles. It was Long Haotian. His brows were tightly furrowed, and his golden dragon eyes were filled with anger. Long Haotian could not stand it any more. Boom! Long Haotian stretched out his hand, and a majestic magic power surged, faintly condensing into a golden dragon claw. It had the power to tear the heavens and earth apart and shake the universe. It's Zulong's top-tier martial arts, the severing dragon palm. Many guests exclaimed. This was a great magical power of the lair of Zulong that was not taught to outsiders. It was extremely powerful. Bang! The golden dragon claw destroyed the snow lotus, and then it continued to land on Jun Shuehuang's chest. Oh no, be careful! Jun Zhangjian saw the situation and shouted. He wanted to save her, but it was too late. Jun Shuehuang was also slightly surprised. She did not expect Long Haotian to suddenly intervene. As the dragon son of the lair of Zulong, the power of the severing dragon hand was extremely powerful. Even Jun Shuehuang could not avoid it. Just as the golden dragon claw was about to hit Jun Shuehuang's chest, a figure flashed out at an extremely fast speed and blocked in front of Jun Shuehuang. The golden dragon claw landed squarely on the man's chest. Son of God! Jun Shuehuang's face suddenly changed. Full edition. Chapter 35. Boom! The sound of a violent collision was heard. Smoke and dust rose, and heaven and earth shook. All the guests were silent as they stared blankly at the white-robed figure who was hit by the severing dragon hand. Long Haotian's sudden attack had caught everyone off guard. Jun Xiaoyao's extremely fast reaction speed was even more surprising. However, Long Haotian had used Zulong's top-notch technique, the severing dragon hand. Once a technique like this was unleashed, even if one had a noble weapon to protect themselves, they would still be heavily injured, let alone being able to defend against this attack. Long Haotian had used this technique to kill more than 10 geniuses from top-notch orthodoxies. Son of God! Jun Shuehuang's face quickly turned pale. If Jun Xiaoyao was seriously injured or something happened to him because of her, Jun Shuehuang would not be able to absolve herself from the blame even if she died. After all, she was not as important to the Jun family as Jun Xiaoyao was. Brother Xiaoyao. Jiang Luoli's pretty face also changed. Jiang Rou, Jiang Shengyi, Jun Zhantian, and the others also changed their expressions. Jun Xiaoyao was now the most important person among the younger generation of the Jun family. If anything happened to him, the consequences would be unimaginable. Will the Jun family's Son of God's 10-years-old banquet turn into a bloodbath? Is the legend of the Jun family's son of God going to end before it even began? All the guests who came to the banquet froze. If that was the case, the Jun family's reputation would plummet. Zulong's reputation would soar. At this moment, the world was dead silent. Countless pairs of eyes were gathered on the peerless figure in white. That's not right, the old Taoist from the Daoji heavenly sect said softly. Logically speaking, if one was hit by Long Haotian's severing dragon hand, one would at least spit out blood and fly backward, if not be smashed into pieces. However, Jun Xiaoyao did not move at all, and there was no expression on his face. Only a pair of eyes that were as deep as an ancient well were filled with extreme indifference. At this moment, everyone sensed that something was wrong. Jun Xiaoyao's reaction was nothing out of the ordinary. His body didn't even move an inch. Is the Son of God forcing himself? Some people looked and murmured in their hearts. However, Long Haotian himself was the only one who was able to sense Jun Xiaoyao's condition. Your physical body. Long Haotian's eyes were filled with shock. His hand landed on Jun Xiaoyao's chest, and he felt as if he had hit a piece of primordial divine gold. Not only was he unable to shake Jun Xiaoyao in the slightest, but his palm was also hurting from the impact. One Long Haotian was Dragon. The Dragon clan's Dragon's body was Dragon of God. However, Jun Xiaoyao was standing there and letting him hit him. How was it possible that he couldn't even hurt him? That's it. Jun Xiaoyao tilted his head slightly. Although he did not seem to say a word of humiliation, it made Long Haotian's face flush red, anger rising in his heart. What's the matter with you? Could it be that you can't put down your face and forcefully suppress your internal injuries? This was the only possibility that Long Haotian could think of. Heh! You're thinking too much. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes glinted with a cold light as soon as he finished speaking. He reached out and directly grabbed Long Haotian's arm that hit his chest. The 40,000 granules of the giant elephant in his body erupted at the same time. In an instant, 400 million kilograms of force surged out. Rip! Jun Xiaoyao twisted his wrist and pulled fiercely. Accompanied by a scream, Long Haotian's arm was torn off by Jun Xiaoyao. Fresh blood splattered everywhere. Long Haotian's figure retreated rapidly, clutching the gap of his broken arm. His face was pale and full of disbelief. Not just Long Haotian, all the guests were speechless. This kind of reversal was something that no one had expected. Jun Xiaoyao not only took a hit from Long Haotian's severing dragon hand, but he also tore off Long Haotian's arm in an extremely violent manner. Who would have thought? The Son of God of the Jun family is breathing steadily. He does not seem to be injured, the old Taoist of the Daoji heavenly sect said. Hearing his words, many forces came to a realization. They immediately looked at Jun Xiaoyao as if they were looking at a monster. After all, in the entire Huangtian mystic realm, there were only a few geniuses who could take a hit from Zulong's severing dragon hand. Most importantly, Jun Xiaoyao did not take the hit or suffer any injuries. He was completely fine. The sacred body of the ancients. Even if it is confined by heaven and earth, it is still terrifying. Many young geniuses were shocked. Son of God! Jun Xiaohuang also breathed a sigh of relief. She looked at Jun Xiaoyao with gratitude in her eyes. You can leave now. Leave this loach to me, Jun Xiaoyao said lightly. Yes. Jun Xiaohuang nodded respectfully. At this moment, she no longer seemed to be the high and mighty sequence 7 of the Jun family. She was more like Jun Xiaoyao's maid. Long Haotian's face turned pale when he heard Jun Xiaoyao's words. He covered the gap of his broken arm with fear in his eyes. If he were to still underestimate Jun Xiaoyao at this point, then he would truly be a fool. Jun Xiaoyao shook his head lightly. There was a faint green light under his skin. Jun Xiaoyao absorbed and refined Xiao Chen's dragon qi, which allowed him to condense the dragon scale inner armor in his body. Jun Xiaoyao was able to block Long Haotian's severing dragon hand without getting hurt because of his already powerful sacred body of the ancients. He didn't even bother to use the underworld protection of the divine elephant overpowering force. Jun Xiaoyao, I don't know what you used to block this move, but you are too naive if you think you can win just like that. Long Haotian said coldly. A vigorous stream of qi and blood suddenly gushed out from his body. Then, under the stunned gaze of everyone, the flesh at the gap of his broken arm began to squirm, and then a new arm slowly grew out. Is that even possible? Some young geniuses were tongue-tied. Is Long Haotian immortal? No, even if the dragon clan is full of qi and blood, they can't just sit there and regrow a broken arm. At least, Long Haotian can't do that. I understand now. Rumor has it that Long Haotian has fused with a dragon essence. Could it be because of the dragon essence? Now, everyone understood that Long Haotian was using the dragon essence. Oh, dragon essence? A light flashed in Jun Xiaoyao's eyes. He looked at Long Haotian like a hunter staring at his prey. Courting death. Seeing Jun Xiaoyao's look, Long Haotian was enraged. It had always been him who treated humans as prey. Since when did a human treat him as prey? Boom. Long Haotian punched out, his qi and blood surging. Everyone seemed to hear a dragon's roar. A colossal dragon phantom, coiling around Long Haotian's fist light, shattered the void and blasted toward Jun Xiaoyao. That kind of powerful fluctuation was like a true dragon coming into being, fighting in the sky. This was another great divine ability of Zulong, as famous as the severing dragon hand, called Dragon Fist. As expected of the dragon's son of Zulong, his strength is astonishing. The moment Long Haotian made his move, many of the younger generation were stunned. Although they couldn't stand Long Haotian's arrogance, his strength was indeed speechless. Seeing the situation, the corners of Jun Xiaoyao's lips curled into a cold smile. He reached his hand out, forming hand seals. Golden divine power surged. Behind him, there seemed to be an indomitable and majestic figure appearing. That is, many guests' pupils constricted in unison when they saw the situation. That kind of vast power made their hair stand on end and their hair stand on end. Full edition. Chapter 36. Jun Xiaoyao reached out his hand and formed a seal. Behind him, a towering figure stood between heaven and earth, like an emperor who suppressed the world. That's the Jun family's martial arts, the seal of the human ruler, an old man exclaimed. As a clan of the ancients, the Jun family had been passed down for countless years. They had a shocking foundation and all kinds of martial arts, cultivation methods, and secret technique. It was only natural that Jun Xiaoyao had been training in more than just the combatant formula over the years. The seal of the human ruler was one of the top martial arts techniques that Jun Xiaoyao had cultivated. With his monstrous talent and comprehension ability, it was naturally easy for him to cultivate it. Very quickly, he succeeded. At that moment, Jun Xiaoyao used the seal of the human ruler. Heaven and earth were intimidated by the seal. The shadow of the human ruler behind him seemed to have the power to suppress the sun, moon, and sky. With the seal of the human ruler, Jun Xiaoyao was like a banished immortal. The seal suppressed the sky and overturned the sun and moon. Long Haotian also performed the dragon fist. His fist light was shocking and illuminated the sky, accompanied by the shadow of a dragon. Boom! The two of them collided like two big stars colliding, and like meteors collapsing on each other. The void trembled, and magical power fluctuations spread in all directions like ripples. Jun Zhantian saw this and reached out his hand. The surrounding void seemed to have been imprisoned, turning into a prison of heaven and earth, isolating the fluctuations. Almighty Saint Stage. None of the elders of the Jun family are weak. Some of the elders of the forces were shocked. Those who had reached the saint stage were called almighty. Generally, a force with one almighty saint stage cultivator could become a first-class force. No one knew how many elders there were in each branch of the June family. Perhaps even the June family did not know. On the other side, the violent magical power fluctuations were restrained and kept rolling in the void. Everyone's eyes were focused on it. Cough, cough. The sound of coughing blood was heard, and a figure staggered out. It was Long Haotian. At that moment, his eyes were wide open and filled with disbelief. The arm that he used to punch was cracked, and blood kept flowing out. His whole arm was trembling. In the collision just now, Jun Xiaoyao had almost crippled his arm again. Even if Long Haotian possessed dragon essence, it was also impossible to endlessly regrow severed limbs. Your strength. Long Haotian gritted his teeth as his heart sank. He had completely underestimated the 10-year-old son of God of the Jun family. One of Jun Xiaoyao's hands was still in the state of forming a seal, while the other hand was behind his back. His clothes were whiter than snow, and his temperament was transcendent. He was like a true immortal who had not fallen into the mortal world. His aura was leisurely. It didn't look like it had experienced a great battle at all. It was incomparably sacred. He's so handsome. Jiang Luoli drooled as she looked at him. In her eyes, Jun Xiaoyao was like a god, okay? She wasn't the only one. The eyes of many princesses and prides from other forces were also shining. With a raise of his hand, he suppressed Zulong Longzi. In the younger generation of the world, how many people could have such a graceful bearing? Long Haotian's expression was unprecedentedly ugly. He had come this time to trample Jun Xiaoyao under his feet and use this opportunity to show off the might of Zulong. But now, he had failed to show off and was beaten instead. No matter what, I can't lose today. Long Haotian took a deep breath. A terrifying force slowly emitted from his body. As this force spread, Long Haotian's cultivation realm actually broke through from the true spirit realm to a new realm. Celestial Bridge Realm. Cultivators who reached this realm would build a celestial bridge in their bodies. It would allow the spirit sea in their dantian to connect with the celestial palace in their mind. Their strength was obviously much stronger than that of a true spirit realm cultivator. I originally wanted to build a good foundation before breaking through. Jun Xiaoyao, it's all because of you. Long Haotian's aura soared. His expression was frightening, and his gaze was as sharp as a sword. With the help of the dragon essence, he had officially stepped into the celestial bridge realm. Originally, Long Haotian had planned to return to Zulong to break through in peace after this battle. But now, because of Jun Xiaoyao, he had broken through in advance. Because if he did not break through, he would not be able to defeat Jun Xiaoyao. This way, Long Haotian's realm would be somewhat unstable, which would not be beneficial to his cultivation. One could only imagine just how much hatred Long Haotian harbored toward Jun Xiaoyao at the moment. Originally, he only wanted to suppress Jun Xiaoyao. Now, he even had the intention to kill Jun Xiaoyao. True Dragon Heaven Imprisonment Technique. Long Haotian's aura was majestic, like a true dragon breaking free from its shackles. In his body, there seemed to be a blazing core that appeared, emitting a majestic force. It's the dragon essence. Not only did Long Haotian break through to the celestial bridge realm, he even activated the power of the dragon essence. Not only that, could that move of his be an attack evolved from the true dragon's superpower? Feeling Long Haotian's aura, many young geniuses from the major forces felt a chill run down their spines. If they were facing the current Long Haotian, just his aura alone would be able to suppress them, let alone fight. The True Dragon Heaven Imprisonment Technique should be an attack evolved from the True Dragon's superpower. It's too terrifying, not to mention the young geniuses, even some of the older generation felt a chill run down their spines. The True Dragon's superpower was Zulong's supreme technique. It was definitely one of the top superpowers in the Huangtian mystic realm. Although what Long Haotian displayed was not the true dragon's superpower, it was still a secondary superpower that was born from the true dragon's superpower. It was also very powerful. Roar. The shadow of a true dragon wrapped around Long Haotian, then rose into the air. Its scales were thick, and its dragon horns were sharp. It raised its huge dragon claws and came crashing down on Jun Xiaoyao. Wherever the dragon claws passed, the space vibrated like ripples. Too powerful. Some of the geniuses from the major forces felt their teeth chattering, as if a basin of cold water had been poured over them from head to toe. Long Haotian, the dragon son of Zulong, was practically invincible at this moment. Son of God! Jun Zhangjian and Jun Shuhuang both looked nervous. At this moment, Long Haotian's attack made them feel a sense of danger. Brother Xiaoyao. Jiang Luoli could not help but feel nervous as well. Jiang Xingyi's beautiful eyes were also filled with worry, as was Jiang Ro. Even Jun Zhantian, who knew Jun Xiaoyao's strength best, clenched his fists and was fully prepared. If there was even the slightest accident, he would immediately make a move. The reputation of the Jun family was not as important as Jun Xiaoyao's life. Jun Xiaoyao die. Long Haotian's face was ferocious, as if he could already see Jun Xiaoyao's blood. This is interesting. Jun Xiaoyao's expression was calm. Even if Mount Tai collapsed in front of him, his expression would not change. Just as he was about to activate his divine body vision to fight, the mechanical voice of the system suddenly rang in his mind. Ding! You are already at the 10-years-old banquet. Would the host like to sign in? Jun Xiaoyao's eyes flashed, and a smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. I thought the system was malfunctioning, but it's just in time. It's better to be early than early. Sign in, Jun Xiaoyao said in his mind. He wanted to see what good things he could sign in this time. Ding! Congratulations to the host for obtaining the 7-star reward, the Bone of Supremacy. As the system's voice fell, Jun Xiaoyao's chest suddenly glowed, and an earth-shattering and terrifying aura burst out. Full edition. Chapter 37. Within Jun Xiaoyao's chest, there was an extremely terrifying energy gathering, as if it was a blazing sun. A crystalline bone with countless complicated runes intertwined with one another was born from it. The Bone of Supremacy. Among the 3,000 physiques, it was also a terrifying physique that was ranked in the top 30. The so-called 3,000 physiques were not only the imperial physique, the divine physique, and the sacred physique. For example, the Bone of Supremacy, the Polychoria, the innate Taoist fetus, the Heart of 7 Orifices Linglong, and so on could all be considered as special physique. As for the Bone of Supremacy, it was obvious that it was extremely extraordinary. Among the 3,000 physiques, it was ranked in the top 30, which was an extremely high ranking. It could be said that even if Jun Xiaoyao did not have the sacred body of the ancients, the Bone of Supremacy alone was enough for him to stand at the top of the heavens' favorites and dominate the world. A 7-star reward. It seems that my luck is not bad. Jun Xiaoyao smiled faintly. Jun Xiaoyao's change also attracted the attention of everyone present. What's going on? The Son of God of the Jun family's chest is shining. What a terrifying aura. It feels like I'm facing a supremacy. I'm about to kneel down. A young genius's face was pale, and his legs were trembling. At this moment, a blazing light erupted from Jun Xiaoyao's chest, and all kinds of runes were imprinted in the void. The aura was as if they were facing a supremacy, and it was daunting. Many young geniuses could not bear the terrifying aura and directly knelt down on the spot. Could that be the Bone of Supremacy? The old Taoist of the Daoji heavenly sect could not help but exclaim, and his old eyes were as big as copper bells. He had been cultivating for many years, and his temperament was stable, but at this moment, he could not help but lose his composure and exclaim. In addition to the sacred body of the ancients, the Son of God of the Jun family also had a Bone of Supremacy in his chest? This was so terrifying that they could not believe their eyes. The sacred body of the ancients and the bone of supremacy. Any one of these talents was enough to allow one to stand at the top of the heavens' favorites. Now, the Son of God of the Jun family actually had 2 top talents. Who would dare to believe this? Xiaoyao actually has the bone of supremacy? Not to mention the outsiders, even Jun Zhantian, Jiang Ro, and the other relatives were dumbfounded. Even they didn't know that Jun Xiaoyao possessed the bone of supremacy, let alone outsiders. Bones of supremacy? How is that possible? Long Haotian, who was fighting Jun Xiaoyao, felt the shocking aura erupting from Jun Xiaoyao's chest, and his dragon eyes widened. He could not believe it. In the past, Lan Qingya had never told him that Jun Xiaoyao had a bone of supremacy. It was worth noting that the bones of supremacy were different from the sacred body of the ancients. The sacred body of the ancients was known as a useless body in modern times. However, the bone of supremacy was still one of the top physique. With just a piece of bone, he could create an invincible young supreme being. So what if you have the supreme being bone? I'll just kill you. Long Haotian hardened his heart and decided to kill Jun Xiaoyao. As for his escape route, he was not stupid enough to provoke the Jun family alone. There would be someone behind him who would protect him. As long as he could kill Jun Xiaoyao, everything would be worth it. Thinking of this, Long Haotian activated the power of the dragon essence in his body and poured it all into the true dragon heaven imprisonment technique. The lifelike true dragon's claws tore through the air and pressed down on Jun Xiaoyao. Jun Xiaoyao stood still with a faint smile on his lips. He changed his mind and stopped using the power of the sacred body of the ancient. I'd like to try the power of this bone of supremacy, Jun Xiaoyao murmured. He activated the golden spirit sea in his body, and the magical power surged into the bone of supremacy in his chest. In an instant, divine light shone brightly and brilliantly. It was as if a sun had appeared in Jun Xiaoyao's chest. The dazzling divine light illuminated the void, shaking the 9 heavens and shattering the clouds in the sky. All the geniuses were shocked and couldn't help but tremble, almost falling to their knees. Even some of the older generation experts felt their hearts skip a beat. At this moment, Jun Xiaoyao, who had used the bone of supremacy, was like an ancient true immortal descending and baptizing the world with divine light. This dazzling divine light was the first terrifying great magical power contained in the bone of supremacy. The light of tribulation. It was as if the heavens had sent down a divine tribulation to destroy the world with divine light. This kind of divine ability was too terrifying. It caused many guests to shiver, and they could feel their souls trembling. Many geniuses had lost any intention of comparing with it just by looking at it. There was no comparison at all. When Long Haotian felt this power, his face was also overwhelmed with shock, mixed with endless shock. Boom! The 2 ultimate techniques collided, and the true dragon heaven imprisonment technique and the light of tribulation fell together. There was no suspense. The terrifying light of tribulation, which seemed to be able to penetrate everything, directly destroyed the true dragon's shadow and swept towards Long Haotian. No! Long Haotian was shocked. He activated the dragon essence with all his might, and a layer of light golden scales spread out on the surface of his body. At the same time, he hurriedly dodged. But how could he dodge the speed of light? Puff! Long Haotian only dodged half a step before the light of tribulation hit him. Half of his body, together with one of his arms, was directly cut open. Dragon blood flowed out and splashed into the sky. Ah! Long Haotian's eyes were blood-red as he howled at the sky. When had he ever experienced such pain? As the dragon son of Zulong, he had always been the one to torture and kill others. No one could threaten him. But now, half of Long Haotian's body was cut open. Even if he had the dragon essence, he would not be able to recover in a short time. He looked at Jun Xiaoyao with a look of horror. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes were still indifferent. He activated the divine elephant overpowering force, and the demon wings extended from his back. With a flap of his wings, he landed beside Long Haotian in an instant. He grabbed Long Haotian's remaining arm with one hand and pulled it hard again. Blood splattered, accompanied by Long Haotian's roar. Seeing this scene, the crowd fell silent. The son of God of the Jun family tore apart the dragon son of Zulong with his bare hands. This was not a metaphor, but a real tearing with his bare hands. Before, there was the white-robed divine king, Jun Wuhue, who pulled out the Zulong Quasi-Supreme's dragon tendons and skinned him. After that, there was the son of God of the Jun family, Jun Xiaoyao, who tore apart the dragon son of Zulong with his bare hands. Is this a skill passed down from his ancestors? Some of the older generation figures were dumbfounded as they watched. Were the people of the Jun family all dragon-slaying warriors? Like father, like son. The son of God of the Jun family has lived up to his father's name. Many cultivators sighed in their hearts. The only remaining proud daughter of the Feathermen tribe looked pale, as if she had lost her soul. Her legs trembled as she watched. At this moment, Jun Xiaoyao stared at Long Haotian as if he was staring at meat on a chopping board. Sensing Jun Xiaoyao's dangerous gaze, Long Haotian's face turned pale. He frantically retreated and shouted, "Jun Xiaoyao, how dare you? Why wouldn't I, the son of God, dare?" Jun Xiaoyao smiled. As he reached out his hand, golden magical power surged like a tide and slapped toward Long Haotian. The son of God of the Jun family is going to kill him. Everyone gasped in unison. They did not expect Jun Xiaoyao to really want to kill Long Haotian. He was the dragon son of Zulong and the younger brother of Long Haotian, the first generation of the Zulong Tebu. If Long Haotian was killed, it would set off a huge wave that would shake the entire Huangtian mystic realm. However, they still underestimated Jun Xiaoyao's means. Not only did Jun Xiaoyao want to kill Long Haotian, but he also wanted to extract the dragon essence from his body. Just as Jun Xiaoyao was about to make his move, a majestic and powerful voice with a cold tone sounded from the sky in the distance. "Junior of the Jun family, how dare you?" Full text. Chapter 38. That voice caused the universe to tremble and the world to tremble. A terrifying dragon aura came crashing down, under the astonished gazes of all the people from the various forces. A gigantic pitch-black dragon claw with bulging muscles pressed down from the heavens. The dark black scales glittered with a cold light. A claw swiped down, tearing a crack in the void. The fluctuations were so terrifying that it made one's heart tremble. "That aura, it's at least a quasi-supreme," some of the older generation exclaimed. Supremes were already at the peak of the immortal realm, and quasi-supremes were the strongest below supremes. Even in some imperishable orthodoxies, quasi-supreme beings were definitely top-notch figures, and could be said to be existences with deep foundations. Yet now, there was actually a half-supreme being who appeared, leaving everyone horrified. No wonder Long Haotian can be so fearless. He has someone backing him. Of course he's not afraid. Some people understood. No matter how arrogant Long Haotian was, he wouldn't come to the Jun family alone. Just like how the Jun family's prodigy wouldn't be stupid enough to provoke the Zulong alone. Long Haotian had someone backing him. Great Elder Yulong has made a move. Long Haotian revealed a smile of relief. As long as he was alive, he would have a chance to rise again. He might have a chance to wash away today's shame in the future. What? Could it be the Zulong's supremacy Yulong? Hearing Long Haotian's words, some of the older cultivators were shocked. Supremacy Yulong was an extremely powerful quasi-supremacy in the Zulong. His true form was a black dragon. He had once fought against a supremacy of the human race with his quasi-supremacy cultivation, and his fame spread throughout the 3,000 mystical prefectures of the immortal realm. But later on, he hid in the Zulong and didn't come out. Now that he reappeared in the world, his aura was still shocking. "Junior of the Jun family, don't be so ruthless. Let's stop here. Supremacy Yulong's tone was cold and arrogant. It was Long Haotian who started the trouble first. He came to the Jun family and tried to step on Jun Xiaoyao to make a name for himself. But now, Supremacy Yulong just wanted to let it go. Of course, the only thing Supreme Nether Dragon could do now was take Long Haotian away. Trying to kill Jun Xiaoyao in the Jun family's residence was no different from a fantasy story. Even if the real Supreme Zulong was here, he wouldn't be able to kill Jun Xiaoyao in the Jun family's territory. Hearing Nether Dragon Sovereign's words, Long Haotian finally heaved a sigh of relief. However, the way he looked at Jun Xiaoyao was filled with cold resentment. This was the first time in his life that he had lost so miserably. In the end, he even needed the seniors of the clan to put aside their pride to save him. It could be said that Long Haotian had never suffered such humiliation before. One could only imagine how much he hated Jun Xiaoyao. Looking at Long Haotian's expression, Jun Xiaoyao's lips curled into a sneer. What? Are you also going to say that the river flows east for 30 years and the river flows west for 30 years? Humph, my elder brother, Long Haotian, will let you taste a crushing defeat, Long Haotian said with a sinister tone. He didn't dare to say anything about taking revenge himself. After all, the sacred body of the ancients combined with the bones of supremacy was too powerful. It wasn't something he could deal with. Heh. Unfortunately, no matter what, you won't be able to see it. Jun Xiaoyao smiled. Under Long Haotian's shocked gaze, he continued to suppress him with one hand. Jun Xiaoyao, are you crazy? How dare you attack me? Long Haotian's expression changed as he quickly retreated. How dare you? In the sky, Nether Dragon Sovereign's thunderous voice shook the 9 heavens and 10 earths. He, a quasi-supreme, had personally spoken, but Jun Xiaoyao actually turned a blind eye to it. Rumble! A huge dragon claw directly descended from the sky. In the void, many runes flashed. It was the Jun family's defensive array that sensed the fluctuation of magical power and automatically activated. Every ray of light was enough to kill a saint. However, now, it couldn't stop the dragon claw from descending from the sky. Wherever the dragon claw passed, many runes and arrays exploded. Nether Dragon Sovereign made a move. He didn't want to deal with Jun Xiaoyao, but he wanted to take Long Haotian away. Bang! 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 The pitch-black dragon claw tore through the void, and the array runes directly exploded. The power of a quasi-supreme was so powerful. Is the Jun family not reacting at all? Feeling this terrifying power, many people hurriedly scattered. At the same time, they looked at Jun Zhantian and the other elders of the family. Zulong, a quasi-supreme, had already made a move. How could they still be so calm? Some of the more observant people noticed that the corners of Jun Zhantian and the other elders' mouths were curled up in a cold and mocking smile. The powerful quasi-supreme's power pressed down and concentrated on Jun Xiaoyao. If it were an ordinary young genius, they would have been suppressed by this power and be unable to move. However, Jun Xiaoyao turned a blind eye and continued to attack. He grabbed at the void, and the spear of the underworld formed. He directly threw it at the escaping Long Haotian and pierced through his chest. Then, he used the extreme speed of the demon wings and slapped at Long Haotian with lightning speed. Crack! A series of bone-cracking sounds rang out, making one's teeth ache. Long Haotian violently vomited blood. All the bones in his body were shattered, and he fell to the ground, dying. In the end, Jun Xiaoyao directly stomped down from the sky. His foot, strengthened by 40,000 granules of the giant elephant, directly stomped on Long Haotian's chest. Splat! A large mouthful of blood mixed with broken organs was spat out from Long Haotian's mouth. Even if he had the physical body of a dragon, he couldn't withstand such a huge force. Long Haotian's eyes bulged. His face was filled with anger, shock, unwillingness, and a faint sense of regret. Brother won't let you go. Long Haotian's eyes widened, and his words were unclear. Finally, He breathed his last and died with his eyes wide open. Zulong's dragon's son had fallen. And all of this happened in the blink of an eye. Even Supreme Nether Dragon didn't expect Jun Xiaoyao to act so decisively. Damn it! An angry roar shook the 9 heavens and 10 lands. Supreme Nether Dragon was furious. A majestic pressure came crashing down like a tidal wave. The ground began to crack, and some of the guests who were affected were directly pressed to the ground. On the other hand, Jun Xiaoyao stood with his hands behind his back. His handsome face was as calm as an ancient well. It was as if the person he was facing wasn't a quasi-supreme whose strength was unparalleled in the world, but an ordinary person. It was also at this moment that a cold snort sounded from the depths of the Jun residence. Since when did a mere quasi-supreme dare to be so impudent in my Jun residence? As the voice fell, a majestic and resplendent sword aura broke through the air from the depths of the Jun residence. The sword aura sparkled, as if reflecting the terrifying scene of a group of immortals falling. A pitch-black crack directly appeared in the void. The pitch-black spatial turbulence accompanied the roar of the sword aura. Supreme Nether Dragon let out an angry roar as the sword swept past. A huge dragon arm, accompanied by dragon blood, fell from the depths of the firmament. One sword had cut off one of Supreme Nether Dragon's dragon arms. Everyone's scalps were about to explode. The power of that sword aura was as if it could destroy the heavens. It's the Jun family's immortal-slaying sword art, one of the 5 great divine arts. The one who attacked is the Jun family's 18th ancestor. Someone exclaimed. Jun family's 18th ancestor, just you wait. Supreme Nether Dragon's voice was cold and harsh. Since you're here, then stay, the 18th ancestor's voice sounded again. Immediately, 2 sword auras from the immortal-slaying sword art slashed through the air from the depths of the Jun residence. No, don't tell me you want to start an immortal war between the Zulong and the Jun family? Supreme Nether Dragon's voice was filled with unprecedented fear. If the 2 immortal forces really started an immortal war, the entire Huangtian mystic realm would fall into unprecedented turmoil. So what if it's an immortal war? The Jun family has stood tall in the mystic realm for countless years. When have we ever feared anyone? The 18th ancestor's tone was boundlessly domineering. Above the firmament, 2 sword auras swept across in succession. A rain of blood poured down, pouring down in torrents. Heaven and earth cried, and the universe shook. A massive black dragon's corpse fell from the distant sky like a fallen god. The 18th ancestor of the Jun family had killed a quasi-supreme Zulong in 3 moves. The entire book. Chapter 39. The world was dead silent and everyone was speechless. Hundreds and thousands of forces came to attend Jun Xiaoyao's 10-years-old banquet. At this moment, the people of these forces had witnessed the fall of a quasi-supreme from the lair of Zulong with their own eyes. Moreover, the one who fell was not a nameless quasi-supreme, but an existence who could compete with the supreme beings of the human race. However, such a powerful existence was killed by the Jun family's 18th ancestor in 3 moves. What did that mean? A quasi-supreme could be regarded as the foundation of an immortal orthodoxy. They could even create a top orthodoxy on their own. However, such an existence was killed by the 18th ancestor in 3 moves like a dog. The Jun family's 18th ancestor should not be an ordinary supreme being, right? A young genius swallowed hard and said, Rumor has it that the most mysterious place in the Jun family is the ancestral temple. No one knows how many old antiques are buried there. Some old people who knew a little about the Jun family said in a deep voice. The Jun family had stood in the mystic realm for countless years and was extremely glorious. Its foundation was simply unimaginable. Any one of the great ancestors buried in the ancestral temple could make the mystic realm tremble with a stomp of their feet. Not to mention, there were rumors that the Jun family might have great emperors. In the late ancient era, the last great emperor came from the Jun family. Qitian, the great emperor Jun Qitian, was a supreme existence who abandoned the heavens. Some old people whispered to each other, their words full of reverence. There was a reason why the Jun family could shine in the mystic realm for countless eras. There was a rain of blood falling from the sky, as if all living beings were singing a sad song. The fall of a quasi-supreme was enough to trigger a vision of heaven and earth. Xiaoyao, come and see me after the banquet. The 18th ancestor's voice came from the depths of the Jun family's residence. Yes. Jun Xiaoyao cupped his hands in the air. To be honest, the 18th ancestor's methods also amazed Jun Xiaoyao. In particular, the Immortal Slayer sword chant, which was named after the Immortal Slayer, was extremely powerful. Even Jun Xiaoyao was a little envious. This kind of top-level martial art was not even found in the Jun family's martial pavilion. Jun Xiaoyao wondered if he should ask the 18th ancestor for the impartation of the immortal slaying sword chant. The Archean royalty who had come to provoke the Jun family had almost been completely annihilated. From quasi-sovereign Yulong to the prides of the ancient royal families. Oh right, I forgot one more. Jun Xiaoyao raised his eyebrows slightly as he looked at the genius of the Featherman tribe who was trembling on the ground. Previously, she was almost killed by Jun Xuehuang. In the end, it was Long Haotian who intervened, allowing her to luckily survive. However, upon seeing such a scene, this Featherman clan's proud daughter felt as if her liver and guts were about to shatter. She was so scared that she pissed her pants and her lower body became wet. She had previously thought that the son of God of the Jun family would not be a match for Long Haotian. But now, the scene of Jun Xiaoyao tearing Long Haotian apart with his bare hands replayed in her mind like a nightmare. You should go with them. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes were indifferent. No, please spare my life, son of God of the Jun family. I am willing to be your slave and serve you for the rest of my life, Lord Son of God. The Featherman clan's proud daughter kept kowtowing and crying. It had to be said that some women of the ancient royal families, or the demon race, did indeed have charm that human women did not have. For example, Yuzhu had a pair of snow-white wings on her back. Her skin was crystal clear, and her appearance was beautiful. Even if she were to be auctioned, she would be able to fetch a sky-high price. Jun Xiaoyao said coldly, "Are you worthy of being my slave?" Even the princess of the ancient kingdom of Phoenix, Bai Yuer, was only his slave. What right did a mere genius of the Featherman clan have to be his slave? Jun Xiaoyao slammed his palm down. No! Yuzhu screamed. She did not expect that in Jun Xiaoyao's eyes, she was not even qualified to be a slave. The last proud daughter of the ancient royal family also died. Seeing how merciless Jun Xiaoyao was, some of the guests wiped the sweat off their foreheads. The Jun family was a group of ruthless people, however, even more ruthless was yet to come. Jun Zhantian and a few other clan elders directly carried the body of Quasi-Supreme Yulong over. They refined it with the elemental fire on the spot and began to roast the black dragon meat. Everyone was stunned. Everyone's faces were filled with astonishment. They were a little dumbfounded. Zulong's Quasi-Supreme Yulong was going to roast meat? Humans could eat anything as long as it was not in the shape of a human. However, this was Zulong's Quasi-Supreme Yulong's flesh. Who would dare to eat it? Even if it was placed in front of these people, they would not dare to touch it. If Zulong held a grudge against them, he would flatten them in a matter of minutes. After all, they were not the families of the ancients like the Jun family, the Jiang family, or the Yi family. They could not bear Zulong's anger. Everyone, please do as you please. Jun Xiaoyao smiled faintly. He did not think that there was anything wrong with this. Wow, we can eat dragon meat now. Jiang Luoli cried out excitedly. Although she was the apple of the Jiang family's eye, it was impossible for her to casually eat dragon meat, let alone the meat of a quasi-supreme level dragon. Moreover, she had the Jiang family behind her, so she was not afraid of Zulong's revenge. Jun Xiaoyao would eat it too, but before that, He had something to take care of. He walked to Long Haotian's body and raised his hand. Vast golden dermic power surged out and began to extract the dragon essence from Long Haotian's body. Generally speaking, once the dragon essence was completely refined, it would be impossible to extract it. However, Long Haotian had not completely digested the dragon essence, so it could still be extracted. A moment later, a ball of golden dragon essence was extracted. There seemed to be a mini dragon within it, roaring at Jun Xiaoyao. Do you think a mere dragon essence can stump the Son of God? Jun Xiaoyao's lips curled into a cold smile. He raised his hand and activated the strength of the hell-crushing god mammoth again. This time it was different. A pitch-black furnace appeared above his head, carrying a terrifying aura that could refine all things in the world. What is the Son of God of the Jun family using? Why do I feel like my soul is being sucked into that furnace? The group of young geniuses trembled in fear. Jun Xiaoyao had made progress in the strength of the hell-crushing god mammoth during his year of seclusion. His strongest attack was the spear of the underworld. His strongest defense was the underworld protection. His strongest speed was the wings of the devil. Now, Jun Xiaoyao was using the fourth transformation of the strength of the hell-crushing god mammoth. His strongest refinement was the hellfire furnace. The hellfire furnace could refine all things. Whether it was used to fight enemies or to refine treasures of heaven and earth, it was very practical. The dragon essence was sucked into the hellfire furnace without any resistance and began to be forcibly refined. A dragon essence was condensed from the essence of a dragon's flesh and blood throughout his life and the magical runes. Even Long Haotian was barely able to refine it and did not completely integrate it. Now Jun Xiaoyao was able to refine it without any difficulty, and it was impossible for his body to explode. There was no energy that could make the body of the sacred body of the ancients explode. The moment Jun Xiaoyao refined the dragon essence, his aura rose uncontrollably again. Rumble! Tribulation clouds began to gather in the sky, and thunder rumbled. Is the Son of God of the Jun family going to make another breakthrough? The Complete Book. Chapter 40. Jun Xiaoyao was only 10 years old, but he was already at level 9 of the true spirit realm, which was enough to shock everyone. However, seeing Jun Xiaoyao's aura skyrocketing again, everyone present was dumbfounded. They were all dumbfounded. Is he going to break through again? This is bad. Could it be the tribulation of the sacred body of the ancients? Jun Zhantian looked up at the dark clouds in the sky and frowned. Ordinary cultivators would not face any tribulation if they broke through from the true spirit realm to the celestial bridge realm. But the sacred body of the ancients was different. This kind of body constitution was not tolerated by heaven and earth, except for the 10 natural restrictions. Every time the sacred body of the ancients made a big breakthrough, heaven would punish it. And from the true spirit realm to the celestial bridge realm was a big leap. Seeing this, Jun Zhantian was not the only one who noticed it. The other guests also noticed it. Could that be the tribulation of the sacred body of the ancients? That's right. Rumor has it that the sacred body of the ancients will face a tribulation when it breaks through a realm. The Son of God of the Jun family is in trouble now. For cultivators, the tribulation was the most dreaded thing. If they were not careful, they would die, and their success or failure would be gone. For a body constitution like the sacred body of the ancients, the tribulation it attracted was even stronger than the ordinary ones. Ordinary geniuses might not even be able to withstand a single attack. Xiaoyao, don't worry. Grandpa and the others will protect you. Jun Zhantian and a group of elders stood up, exuding the aura of the saint stage. In the past, there were many forces that wanted to cultivate the sacred body of the ancient. Every time the sacred body of the ancients went through a tribulation, there would be a group of strong cultivators to protect it and help it through the tribulation. However, Jun Xiaoyao's handsome face was as calm as still water, and his eyes were unperturbed. Grandpa, there's no need. It's just a tribulation. It's not worth mentioning. Let me handle it alone." Hearing Jun Xiaoyao's words, Jun Zhantian and the others were stunned. The expressions of the surrounding cultivators all froze. At this moment, the tribulation finally turned into a torrent of lightning and fell. That terrifying tribulation might was horrifying. Jun Xiaoyao stood in midair. His black hair flowed with divine radiance and fluttered in the wind. His clothes were as white as snow, and his sleeves fluttered in the wind. He looked like an immortal who was about to leave with the wind. Jun Xiaoyao raised his hand, and the hellfire crucible appeared once more. The torrent of lightning crashed into the hellfire crucible. Jun Xiaoyao shuddered all of a sudden. Boundless golden qi and blood rose from within his body as the silhouette of a golden primordial divine elephant suddenly appeared. It carried with it a vast might that could suppress the universe. Jun Xiaoyao raised his trunk to the sky and inhaled. Rolling thunderbolts surged into his body. 100,000 lightning tribulations, forge my immortal saint body. Not only was Jun Xiaoyao not afraid of the thunder tribulation, but he also used it as a means to temper his sacred body of the ancients. Rumble. Lightning continued to fall, but it was unable to harm Jun Xiaoyao. At most, it could only push him back. This is simply a monster. Many people from the various forces were speechless, unable to say a word. Every genius was trembling in fear when they went through the tribulation, fearing that they would die. Jun Xiaoyao, on the other hand, was using the heavenly tribulation as a resource to temper his body. Sigh. It seems that I still underestimated Xiaoyao. Jun Zhantian and the other elders shook their heads with bitter smiles. Sometimes, Jun Xiaoyao's talent made even the saints feel like their minds were about to collapse. If even they felt that way, one could only imagine how the young geniuses who came to the banquet felt. I feel like I'll never be able to catch up to the son of God of the Jun family. Yeah, this world of great battles seems to be the stage of the son of God of the Jun family. Some of the top geniuses of the major forces said so. Cracks began to appear in their minds. In the end, the thunder tribulation could do nothing to Jun Xiaoyao. Disperse. Jun Xiaoyao pushed his palm forward. The immemorial divine elephant's shadow roared into the sky. Lightning swept across the sky, and the dark tribulation clouds were scattered. Light finally returned to the world. Jun Xiaoyao's gains were also gratifying. First, his cultivation broke through to the celestial bridge stage. Not only that, but he also broke through to the late stage of the celestial bridge stage. The celestial bridge stage was divided into the early stage, the middle stage, the late stage, and the peak stage. After reaching the peak stage, the celestial bridge in the body was successfully built. Then, it was the consolidation stage, where the spirit and body merged and became one. After that, it was to find some Tao seeds, immortal seeds, and so on to integrate into one's body. After the consolidation stage, it was the nirvana stage, where one would find a fire seed to cleanse the divine palace in the brain and transform the true spirit into a primordial spirit. After the nirvana stage, one's strength would surge and reach the ascension stage. Finally, it was to ignite the divine fire and open the stairs to the saint stage. Celestial bridge, consolidation, convergence, nirvana, ascension stage, and divine fire. This was the middle stage of cultivation. After that, it would be the saint stage. Jun Xiaoyao, who was only 10 years old, had reached the late stage of the celestial bridge stage. He was already an absolute monster. Usually, geniuses at his age would still be between the divinity stage and the true spirit stage. Previously, Long Haotian had only reached the celestial bridge stage with the help of the dragon essence. In addition to the stage, Jun Xiaoyao used the power of the thunder tribulation and the dragon essence to awaken another 10,000 granules of the giant elephant in his body. In other words, Jun Xiaoyao's current physical strength had reached 500 million caddies. This was simply terrifying. An ordinary genius's physical strength was only a few 100,000 caddies at most. Even those top geniuses only had a few million or 10 million caddies. Jun Xiaoyao had 500 million caddies of divine strength. In addition, Jun Xiaoyao realized that the bone of supremacy in his chest was also absorbing the power of the heavenly tribulation and the dragon essence. It seems that the light of tribulation is not the complete form of this supernatural power. I have to find a way to nourish this bone in the future, Jun Xiaoyao thought to himself. Like the sacred body of the ancients, the bone of supremacy had unlimited potential and would always be with Jun Xiaoyao. However, at the same time, these two special constitutions required nourishment from all kinds of treasures. They were simply two bottomless pits. Fortunately, I was born in a clan of the ancients. If I was born in a small clan, I wouldn't even have enough resources, let alone cultivation. Jun Xiaoyao couldn't help but sigh again. Reincarnation was really an art. Oh right, I forgot about the flesh of a quasi-supreme, Jun Xiaoyao thought. Come, brother Xiaoyao. Have some dragon meat. Jiang Luoli was intelligent and elegant. Light of wisdom flowed on her snow-white forehead. She was very intelligent and had been observing Jun Xiaoyao. At this moment, she brought a plate of grilled dragon meat and handed it to Jun Xiaoyao. She blinked her watery eyes and looked very obedient. Thank you. Jun Xiaoyao nodded slightly. The way he ate was even more graceful than Jiang Luoli. He had to admit that the life essence of the quasi-supreme level dragon meat was amazing. The bone of supremacy in his chest was also desperately absorbing it. Jun Xiaoyao was also looking forward to the day when the bone of supremacy would transform. Just the light of tribulation alone was already so powerful. If it transformed again, how powerful would his bone of supremacy be? After the 10-years-old banquet, there is still the supreme treasure of Yuantian. It seems that I have to start preparing after that, Jun Xiaoyao thought to himself. The rewards of the check-ins were really rich. The sacred body of the ancients, the divine elephant overpowering force, and the bone of supremacy were all very helpful to him. Jun Xiaoyao was very curious. What rewards would he get for checking in at the supreme secret realm of Yuantian? There's also Shaoqin. I wonder if he's still worth it for me to harvest, Jun Xiaoyao thought. After the 10-years-old banquet, Jun Xiaoyao could finally enter the world and walk in the mystic realm. He was also looking forward to this vast and boundless mystic realm. I hope this world of great battles won't be too boring for me. Jun Xiaoyao stood with his hands behind his back and sighed to the sky. It was quite a feeling of invincibility and loneliness. The whole book,